our circle from all that stressed. We trust the guardians, trust the guides, trust the open and what's inside. When the moon is high, it's time to fly. Open your mind, let it all unwind. Let's get disengaged, time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. When you feel like you've had enough and the week was busy and tough, you need a break, you need some fun. You need to take time from the run. We'll blow your mind. We're just in time. Seek and ye shall find. Time to unwind. Let's get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged. Aliens, ghosts, spirits and shadows, spirituality, ultra reality, the Bible, the pagans, all the conspiracies, tarot, astrology, and alternate history. Open your heart to other possibilities and get disenraged. Time to engage. Turn another page, free from your cage. Get disenraged, 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 disenraged.
What up, guys? Jennifer, I haven't streamed in like 3 or 4 days.
Really?
Yeah, it's true.
You mean you're taking time off?
I didn't take time off. I was doing other stuff, but I just didn't. I was in writer's mode, Jennifer. I was in writer's mode, and I'm just like I'm at that stage where I'm like so fucking close to being done with this fucking book, and I can taste it and I can feel it, and I just had to go through and reformat 211 sources from a single chapter. Whoa. And now I'm this close. I've only got one chapter left to do in this debunking Communist Manifesto book, and then I am gonna take a break for about 5 minutes and start another book. But but like it again with this book is like one of those things where it started as a simple idea. Like, I think I DM'd you at the time. I was like, I realized that I can publish the Communist Manifesto because it's in the public domain. And my first initial thought with it was, why don't I run a Communist Manifesto book club and everyone can buy the Communist Manifesto from me, just a plain old Communist Manifesto, and that would be funny as hell, right? Like, I just republish it because it's in the public domain, so you can, and you get it from me, but then we do a book. And then I was like, no, that's too simple. We're going to do a whole debunking of the Communist Manifesto. And then it started out with, I'm just going to rant about all the things that are wrong. And then it was going to be like a nice little book, and it was going to be quick. And then it ballooned, as it does. And now it's at least 50,000 words.
Wow.
In a week.
See, and you used to say, Jennifer, I don't know how you write so fast. And I'm like, you just knuckle down and do it. And it helps if you don't have 50 things to do every day and you can just sit there and pump it out.
Yeah.
Even though I do have 50 things I have to do every day, I just tend to ignore my life completely. And I go into writer mode and I don't come out until I'm like covered in mold and I haven't seen the sun in a week,
Well, That's why I haven't been streaming the last couple of days. It wasn't because the Socialism Saturday stream was shit this week. It wasn't because of that. It was because I was just in writer's mode, and I'm not pulling my head out of this. I'm in it.
Yeah.
This is too good. You can't, like, even today I was like, I really should do a stream, but I was like, no, you are staying and you are finishing this fucking chapter, because if you pull your head out of it, you will have a harder time going back of it. So I was like, I cannot switch gears right now. It's just not happening. Staying and focusing.
The zone is real.
Yeah.
It is real. Yeah, that's exactly right. My husband will be like, "Are we eating this week? Can you feed yourself?" Close the door.
Well, it's funny because I just went out because I've been complaining to Victor about this, because yesterday I finished editing a chapter that, Jennifer, I kid you not, 24,000 fucking words in a single chapter.
Oh, that's a big chapter. Did you break it up?
And I kind of just hunkered down and edited the whole fucking thing in like a day and a half. But like I wanted to shoot myself. I really did. I was like, this like at this point, killing myself would be preferable to continuing to edit this chapter. I was like, this is the worst decision I've ever made. What the fuck is wrong with and so I was complaining to Victor all day about it, and so I went out there to say, oh, I'm about to do my stream with Jennifer and all this stuff, and he's like, Carlin, I got you some ice cream in the freezer for later, and I was like, thank you.
Oh,
Yep.
Oh,
So,
that's an understanding man. We love that.
no, we love Victor. He does take good care of me. He keeps me. I'm like, I wasn't upset because I'm trying to like stick to the keto diet, because I sit on my ass all day. I have no physical activity. So I'm like, oh, I'm trying to do keto. And keto actually works out pretty well. But every once in a while, Victor's like, Carlin, do you want some ice cream? I'm like, yes, I do.
And a loaf of French bread, please. Yes.
So that's what I've been doing, Jennifer. How are you? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm not far off. I am actually really trying to work on my work-life balance, because I've kind of been where you're at now for the last 2.5 years. And it's been a real challenge to actually engage with my life. So I've been doing what's called the red pen edit. I'll show you what I mean. I've got some pages. I have this much left in my manuscript.
There you go.
And I've got this much done. So I'm about 2/3 done, and I have a third left. But it's basically, you can see like my red pen.
You do the red pen.
I literally sit down and read it in a different format, in a different room. I go into my dining room where there's like a window and light and everything. And I get my red pen out and I literally do it just like your old school teachers used to mark up your papers. And I catch so much stuff that I don't catch. So I like to do that as my last stage before I send it to my editor. So that's what I'm doing. And I'm starting to think about offering services as a cover designer.
Oh, you should. Your covers are great.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I've been helping. I helped like 3 or 4 other people, no, 5 other people with covers, and they love them. And I'm like, I should charge for this. I need money back because I can't afford my editor right now, and I need cash. So I'm like, maybe I should
you should charge for it. You should. Absolutely. Why not?
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if I want to do it like through networking connections, or if I want to do it on Fiverr. I already offer my services as a writing coach on Fiverr, but it's so hard to get. It's the same thing as anything else. You have to kind of pay to be in the top echelon of searches. So, but I'm still reorganizing my life. I actually cooked food for lunch today. I've got dinner planned out. I've got my laundry done. I actually did stuff today. I'm so proud of myself.
Man. Like what you said though about interacting with the world though, like the struggle is real. Like it really is. Like I don't leave my house anymore, Jennifer. Like I mean, like maybe like once a week, maybe twice a week on a bit. And I had to go do an errand like last Friday, and I was like driving down the interstate, and I'm like, this is different. This is weird. This is weird. Like, where am I?
The world is moving around the window.
There are people out doing stuff. Like stuff happens outside of my office. Like
it's amazing. I know. I'm supposed to go grocery shopping every week, and I put it off because I don't want to go out there. I have to take a shower and put on makeup, and I get dressed, and I have to do all the things. It takes me like an hour, and then I get hungry. It's like now I got to eat something, and then 2 hours later, and this time of year the sun goes down so early. That it sucks because by the time I'm ready to go, it's like 4 p.m. I'm like, it's gonna be dark when I get home, and it's cold outside, and I don't want Yeah, but then I actually sent a message to a friend of mine from the grocery store parking lot because I was so proud of myself. I'm like, I'm out of my house.
So this isn't just me that doesn't leave my house. This is like a thing, right? Like I'm not the only one.
Oh yeah. It is
Man.
it's actually a writer's curse.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard it from several people who get stuck in the zone. Mhm.
All right. Well, it makes me feel a little bit better.
One
All
of
right.
us. One of us.
Listen, I go in and out of these phases. Well, I mean, like the thing of it is, and we've talked about this. It's like when I was like publishing books through a real publisher. It's like you do one book every couple of years. And
Mhm.
so it's like, and that's just like the kind of predicament that they put you in. And I remember after I finished my first book, I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to write the next book. And my agent was like, well, let's just wait and see how this first one does. And I was like, really?
Yeah.
Because I have all these ideas. And he's like, yeah, we just gotta wait. And I was like, why do we have to wait a year and a half for me? And I got all pissed off about it.
Mhm.
But then I went along with it because I was like, these people know what they're doing. This is like fucking Penguin Random House. They know what they're fucking doing. I don't know what I'm doing at all. And it turns out it was a bad decision to listen to them, and I'm still really bitter and
Yeah.
angry about all of this. And now that I can do whatever I want, I'm like, fuck this. I'm just gonna write as many. I'm gonna become the most prolific anti-communist writer in America in 1 year.
I think you totally could.
Yeah.
You really, especially with the efficiency of your editing process, because like for me, it can, if I really knuckle down, and when I did like rapid fire release the first time I did my book, so I had a book publishing almost every other month.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with beta readers and my editor and proofreaders, and I did my cover design and like the whole thing. And I just piggybacked. I had like one in the shoot that I was writing, the next one when the beta readers were going through, and the one after that my editor was sending back to me, and and it would all kind of alternate and flip over, and I was just cranking books out. But I had most of it written before I started the process, so it was easier to do. But that rapid release system really takes a toll. And I don't ever want to do that again because it fucked up my life for like a year. I'm still kind of recovering, but I got 6 books out. I've got 2 more ready almost to go. So,
There you go.
just go with it.
I mean, I'm starting to get into a groove with it. Like, I already know the next book I'm going to write is going to be the queer Marxism book, and it's going to release on. I'm planning it for June 1st, which is the start of Pride Month, because
Makes sense.
you have to.
Yes.
Even though queer and trans are not the same thing, which no one on the internet knows apparently, Chris Rufo. But like, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But I feel good about it. It's like, this Marx book is gonna come out. I'm gonna bang out that queer Marxism, but that's like 22 chapters in it, so that's gonna be a little bit of a project.
What do you think about showing Tootsie for Pride Month?
Tootsie, why not?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Is
I
it
know what it is.
Tootsie, Mrs. Doubtfire? What are some other gender benders we could do? Yeah, that might be fun. We could celebrate it in our own way.
As long as we're not watching that awful David Bowie movie, The Man Who Fell to Earth.
I've never seen that, and I love David Bowie. I think I tried watching it. I got 10 minutes in, and I'm like, this reminds me of like Parisian art house, and I'm not here for it.
I had to watch it for a class in college, and I was so traumatized by it that I'm still traumatized to this day.
Really?
Yeah. There's a scene where where there's like a sex scene where you see David Bowie's cock, and he's like shooting a gun during the sex scene, and I was like, no, it's not good, Jennifer. It's not good. It's not good.
You're not convincing me.
No, it's weird. It's weird. There's gun play. It's fucking weird. It's like, and it comes out of nowhere where all of a sudden, like, you're just like, oh, David Bowie's cock right in my face. Okay. I was not prepared for this eventuality.
I didn't know he showed his boomstick. Ooh.
He did. He definitely did. Yeah.
I just want to watch that scene now.
Yeah. I will never unsee it. And that makes me upset.
Well, you think dicks are funny looking, and I appreciate the form of the dick. So I don't mind looking at, except when they run.
I mean, dicks are definitely funny looking, but it was also just like the shock of seeing it like out of nowhere and with no warning. I was like,
in school
in a giant ass auditorium.
Big screen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think at that age I probably would have been traumatized as well. Now, after I've turned 29 so many times, I'd be like, bring it on.
Well, it's a little bit.
Show me that Bowie dick.
But dicks are still odd looking. Like, very few dicks are aesthetically pleasing. They're just odd.
Yeah.
They just are. I
They're
mean,
funny.
like, vaginas are no different. Like, they look weird too. I'm like terrified. Like, I'm terrified of that too. So
I'm glad I'm not a lesbian. I'm that's all.
No, oh fuck that. I would never. I would be terrified. I'm not even joking.
It's very complex down there. They have a lot to navigate.
Yeah, and it's weird looking and all that stuff. Anyway, Naruto, happy late birthday to Naruto. It was yesterday. Fun fact, I chose to be born on my bro's first birthday. Well, good to see you, Naruto.
Happy birthday, sweetie.
And we're doing movie night for his birthday this week. And what are we watching? What is the name of that movie?
It's Scott Pilgrim versus the World was his choice, and so we'll be celebrating his birthday on Sunday. Yes, Nick got it.
Night. Yeah, this is my boomstick, Bruce. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a good reference. Good reference. All right, we are talking about choosing your life today, Jennifer, which of course is a topic that has gotten me in trouble on the internet on several occasions when I say that this is a real thing, and then people are like, "You're fucking crazy. You chose to be canceled on the internet for saying Hitler went to heaven." And I was like, "Well, yeah, I actually maybe not with that degree of granularity, but like actually, yes." Like, unironically, yes.
And by the same people who bitch and moan about other people who don't look up stuff or ask questions.
Yeah.
By the way, so.
Every time. There's no sense of, like, intellectual curiosity anymore. Yeah. None. So what are we watching today, Jennifer? You picked out the videos.
Yes, I found this really great channel, and I actually just closed my Discord so I don't have the titles of them in front of me anymore. Sorry, I'm playing with my camera. There you go. Yeah, I found this really great channel that has some interesting stuff in it, and I found these 3 videos that seemed thematically tied together, and I found it a very cool, easily to digest version of your soul's journey. And it doesn't have the flow charts, it doesn't have the weird this is your soul.
Oh yeah, that chart last week, that was something else. That was like way too complicated.
Yeah, this is much easier to understand, and I think it's more of the Hermetic tradition, but but it's not coming from this is Hermetic tradition that we are preaching. It's just like, here's your stuff, and it gives examples from Hermeticism as much as it gives examples from Christianity and Hinduism. And I kind of came across this because I was looking at maybe doing a deep dive into Hindu, and I went, this is the language of I love Indians, I love their food, I love their culture, their fabrics, I love them dearly, but their language is hard, and some of those words I was like, this is going to overload me, and I don't need to be overloaded. I got enough on my plate mentally right now. I just want something nice and easy to follow that says things that are cool and helpful to other people.
Yeah. I agree. I think this is gonna be great. I love this topic. I think it's real. I think it's super interesting, and I think, like, for me, it helps, like, whenever there is actually really legitimately shitty things going on in life, to kind of have some perspective to say, okay, what is the purpose of this? Like, why am I doing this? Like, what am I supposed to learn from this? And it doesn't take the shitty thing away, but if you can put the shitty thing in, like, a larger perspective of, you know what, maybe this is an experience I needed for reason X, Y, B, and Z because I chose to have this sort of thing, and blah da 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 da. It really does help to have that experience, and I always found, like, looking back on things that happened, okay, maybe if I had to choose at the time, no, I wouldn't have chosen to have my college boyfriend doxxed and dragged through the mud and, like, all that stuff.
That may not have been your choice.
But that's sort of, like, horrific, like if I had to say, I wouldn't have chosen that. But looking back on it now, I'm like, okay, this made me a lot stronger. I now legitimately don't give a fuck. There is literally nothing that people can do to hurt me now. Like, there's nothing. Like, I don't have any weird sex tape out there. I read an article about someone calling me a porn star like last week. I was like, well, that's news to me because I've never had sex on video in my life. Like,
that you know of.
Yeah, but it's like there is nothing else, and so I'm like, okay, well, you know what? Maybe that did actually serve some sort of higher purpose for my journey in this lifetime. It sucked, but
Well, and there are interconnected decisions too. Sometimes can be a bit of a web in that someone needs to learn something, and 3 other people who are going to help them with that also can learn something that is sort of a subcategory or related. So, hey, let's all go through this experience. We're all going to learn what we need to learn, and then we go,
Yeah. True.
And that's helpful too. And I know a lot of people have been Like in the chat, sometimes I see a few that are like, I don't know why I'm here, why I'm doing this, my life sucks, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, if there's anything I can do to help guide and heal, that's sort of part of my function. That's sort of my purpose. And I find this to be a very comforting thing. And it helps me when I get very confused. Why are people so shitty? Or how come I said that thing out loud that I knew I shouldn't have said, but there it went. And boy, did I ruin some shit, because of that, and it's, well, because it needed to happen. What you're going through right now needs to happen. Do you know why? No. If you knew why, you could avoid it. The point is to go through it.
Yeah.
So
it's true. So I'm glad you chose this topic today. I think it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Let me get the sound set up. But Jennifer, do you guess what I'm drinking tonight?
What?
It's fun.
Is
fun.
it beer?
It is not beer. You know what it is?
Is it absinthe?
I have a selection of sake that I bought on Friday that I didn't drink. And so I've got this and 2 other sakes in my little fridge, and I'm drinking it. Did you ever have one of these little glasses? When you were
yes, the little crystal glasses. My mom has those.
Yep, this is the last that exists of the crystal glasses of my childhood, and is my official sake glass. And I feel like every person around our age had these glasses.
Yeah.
At some point, these are like one of those glasses.
Yeah, so my mom has that. She had the picture that went with them too, but I don't know where any of that is anymore. But yeah, I may or may not be having tea.
Yeah, tea.
I do actually have some iced tea, but I double fisted over here. So
there you go. So we got some drinks. I hope you guys have drinks and snacks as well. Should we jump into the movie?
Let's do it.
All right. First one is going to be talking about pre-birth.
Yep. How your soul family was shaped, including soulmate.
Soulmates. Oh, fuck soulmates. I'm sick of soulmates. Soulmates can go away. My soulmates are failing me lately, Jennifer. They are failing. They are failing to work out their shit.
Oh, so you're evolving faster than they are. That sucks. That's hard.
Yes. I'm in the waiting game with 2 different people right now. And you know what? They're both fucking Pisces. And I want to kill myself. And it's like one of those things where we all know what's going on. I am waiting for you 2 to get your shit together. And of course they don't watch the show, so I can say this. I'm waiting for you 2 to get your fucking shit together, and it sucks.
Yeah, the 2 that broke my heart were both Pisces as well. I have bad taste in mouth from Pisces. But this introduced an interesting concept that I had not thought of. We always think of soulmates as friends or lovers. And this said sometimes you have a soulmate that is your enemy. Like you've agreed to be on opposition. I never even thought about that before. So 100%. That's fascinating.
Yeah. I think I have several of those as well.
Yeah.
One of them who wrote about me being a porn star.
You're right. Get your act together, person.
Yeah, seriously.
I agree.
It's time to process and stop being silent and get back in the fucking game, asshole.
That's right. Don't make me come down there and hex your ass.
Yeah, it's exactly. All right, let's play.
Your soul, it didn't begin here. There is a force, an intelligence that we are all connected to, a vast consciousness that we've forgotten.
Just to be very clear, someone claimed I was a porn star, but I've never had sex on video, and there is no evidence of this, and they're just being an asshole. So I don't want to get your hopes up, bro. I know you have certain sensibilities, but I'm very sorry.
Also, fair warning, this particular video for some reason seems to skip like 3 or 4 times. It just kind of, and that seems to be part of it. I tried it on 2 different devices just to see, and that apparently is it. So not to worry if that happened, if you see that.
That's okay.
It is the architect of existence, the bridge between all dimension, and it holds the key to your true identity. And that is every version of you, every past life, every future possibility, all connected through one oversoul. Most of the time, you are experiencing echoes of past selves, and some of them are not even human. Most of your family and friends are not real in the way you think. Some of them are projections created by the oversoul to test you. The person you love the most in this life could have been your greatest enemy in a past one. The oversoul replays these relationships in different roles to teach you lessons, and also there are souls who have never been human before. Some people walking among us are actually incarnated from non-human extraterrestrial civilizations. Stay with me. Every person you see walking around has a soul inside them, but that soul is not alone. It is part of something much bigger. The soul is
Jennifer, if this writing thing ever goes kaput, what I think I'm gonna do is just make these AI videos. I'm just gonna like write random. I'm gonna have like the AI write me a spirituality script about X, Y, B, and Z, and then in the middle of it, I'm just gonna insert like random fucking phrases, just to see if people are paying attention.
Yep. You can get the weird AI animation to go with it, you know,
Yeah.
the people walking backwards and forwards at the same time, but they're wearing like swastikas and shit. Like,
Yeah,
or whatever.
that sounds like a great idea. Nothing can go wrong with that.
No, it's a great idea.
Yeah.
like a drop of water in a vast ocean. The ocean itself is the oversoul. This means that even if we feel separate as individuals, we are all deeply connected to something greater. The idea of the oversoul is not new. Many ancient spiritual traditions spoke about it in different ways. Hinduism calls it Paramatman, which means the supreme soul. In Christianity, some mystics believed in a universal soul that connects all beings. In Buddhism, there is the idea that all things are connected and come from the same great source. Even in old Western philosophy, the famous thinker Ralph Waldo Emerson talked about the oversoul as a higher power that connects all human
Well,
minds.
I think it's interesting the way they're putting this, because like when I talk about like my beliefs, oftentimes people think like I'm a Buddhist, because that's the only reference they have for like some of these ideas, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
no, I mean, yeah, it does exist in Buddhism, but it actually exists in like everything. Like-
Well, on the Christian mysticism, Jewish mysticism, in all of the I mean, even in, I think, well, no, I was going to say in Mormonism, but they're more alien oriented. But it's so many that have this concept. They're just calling it their own thing, or they're putting their label on it and
Yeah,
send money to that church. So
exactly. Even the Christians
that's who I'm talking about.
who pretend that they don't have these beliefs, but you do have these beliefs. You just don't know it because oftentimes you don't read your own books.
True. Well, or
True.
they've got the simplified, they've got the Cliff's Notes version.
Yeah, they've got the baby version. It's okay.
Yeah.
I fundamentally think that, and I really don't mean any offense by this. I think Christianity is a thing for the like unevolved, essentially.
It depends on what you're looking for in this life.
I suppose.
I think because I went through it in my early life, it caused me to ask so many more questions and be so much smarter about who I trust later in life.
Yeah, but
So-
like in your case,
You have to be
though-
skeptical.
well,
to do that.
But I think like in your case though, like you were born and brought up in it, but you
That's true.
you left the Christian cult, and I'm not saying Christianity is a cult. I'm saying Jennifer specifically was in a very specific Christian cult.
Yeah,
like
they were culty.
like you left, and so
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so did you need that as part of your experience? Well, yeah, okay, I can understand that. I guess I'm talking about people that like they are the diehard Christians.
Oh,
that they
yeah.
never. It's like okay, well that's nice.
Oh, it's sweet. It's so easy, and I'm glad you're happy.
Yeah. And maybe you'll have a different experience in the next lifetime when you evolve a little bit more. And that's okay, but it's okay not to be evolved. It's okay. We're all on our own path.
We all have to do it at our own pace. Not everybody's as old as we are, too. Some of them are newer, and they need something that's easy to eat, baby food to get. Sorry, no offense, with love. To get to higher forms of critical thinking and spirituality.
We're not being spiritually judgmental of anyone. We're just
No.
saying that there is a stage for everything.
Yes,
And Christianity is like the kindergarten level. And that's okay, because we need to go through kindergarten in first grade and second grade, because that's where we learn how to read. So it's important, but there are better things. And you're
Just
going to find
different.
those things when you're ready to find them.
I find it more expansive. It's like getting outside of the fish tank and realizing you live in a house, and then you realize that house is in a town, and that town is in a state, and that state, and you just, things get bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm. So you're much nicer than I am, Jennifer. Jennifer's more evolved than me, by the way. So like, so I can.
You heard it.
Obviously,
here.
clearly, Jennifer is a more evolved soul than I am. Just to be very clear, so I'm not shitting on everyone. Like I can recognize the levels of spirituality that I haven't achieved yet.
Well, I think we both have our strengths for sure.
Yeah, true.
To understand how the oversoul works, think of a beehive. There are many bees, and each bee seems to be working separately, but in reality they are all part of a bigger system. They share knowledge, communicate, and have a common goal. The oversoul is like that beehive, and each soul is like a bee. The oversoul collects every thought, feeling, and experience that each soul has. It stores all of this information and shares it with other souls that are part of the same oversoul. This is why some people can have sudden moments of inspiration, as if knowledge just comes to them from nowhere. That knowledge may have come from another soul connected to the same oversoul. This also explains why some people feel strong connections to places they have never been, or feel like they have met someone before, even though they are meeting them for the first time. The oversoul carries the memories and emotions of many souls, and sometimes that information leaks into our consciousness. Many people confuse the oversoul with the higher self. While they are related, they are not the same thing. The higher self is the wisest and most powerful version of you. It is like a guide that watches over your soul, helping you make good choices. The oversoul, on the other hand, is even bigger than the higher self. It is not just about you, it includes many souls, like a family of energy. Your higher self communicates with the oversoul, receiving knowledge from it and sending back everything you learn in life. Imagine a school. The students, souls, are all learning different things. The teacher, higher self, helps each student understand their lessons. The school itself, oversoul, collects all the knowledge from every student and teacher so that future students can learn even faster. This is how wisdom grows across many lifetimes. Some people believe that the oversoul is not just a collection of souls, but actually a living, thinking, and intelligent force. If this is true, then the oversoul is like a supercomputer made of energy, always learning and evolving. It knows things beyond what one single soul can understand. If we take this idea further, then we must ask, where did the oversoul come from? Some say it was created by an even greater force, something people call Source, God, the universe, or the divine mind. The oversoul, in this case, is like a bridge between individual souls and the ultimate creator of everything. There is also a belief that oversouls are not just limited to Earth. If life exists on other planets, those beings may also have their own oversouls. This would mean that the universe is filled with countless oversouls, each guiding and collecting knowledge from their own group of souls. Some people even believe that one day, all oversouls will merge back into a single divine force, returning to the original source of creation.
Yo, it's like at childhood's end. I don't like it. I don't like it.
No.
I don't like it. We're being assimilated, Jennifer.
No. Well, I think this is the concept that is somewhat new to me, is the oversoul concept, where it's like there's a big you and that goes down to littler yous, and I'm still wrestling with that, honestly, because I had a friend who said he was a fragmented soul, which means his soul is in pieces, and he's trying to bring it back so he can be whole again. Now that I could kind of see, maybe. But an oversoul makes me think, yeah, there's lots of us's, me's, or whatever, and that we're all going to report back to the mothership and become one again and get absorbed. And that I don't care for. But I've heard a lot of other kind of wise people talk about how part of you stays in kind of a home base, almost trance phase, out in the ether, if you will. And then then you come down and have this experience and you're tethered. So I'm not saying this is exactly how it works. Everybody pay attention, because there's going to be a test and this is how we do it. This is not the church here. This is a possibility. Is there an oversoul? It seems to be a common thing. Maybe there's something to it. Does everybody have one? Does the oversoul itself come down? All good questions. I don't have answers, but it is an interesting thing to think about.
Fair enough.
An oversoul sends out pieces of itself into different lifetimes, realities, or dimensions. These pieces are sometimes called soul fragments. Each soul fragment lives its own life, gathers its own experiences, and learns its own lessons. But no matter how separate these fragments seem, they always remain connected to the oversoul. Think of it like a giant tree with many leaves. Every leaf is unique, but they all get their life from the same tree. When one leaf experiences the wind or the rain, the whole tree feels it in some way. In the same way, the oversoul collects the experiences of all its soul fragments. However, sometimes these soul fragments can become lost or disconnected. This can happen due to deep trauma, suffering, or powerful emotional events. If a soul fragment is severely wounded, it may break away from the oversoul and become stuck in a certain reality, unable to move forward. This is what some traditions call a lost soul or wandering spirit. A soul family is a group of souls that are deeply connected to each other. They are like a spiritual family that exists beyond the physical world. Unlike a biological family, which is based on genetics and physical birth, a soul family is based on energy, vibration, and shared experiences across many lifetimes. Imagine a group of travelers who are on a long journey together. They may separate at times, taking different paths, but they always find their way back to each other. A soul family is like that. The members of a soul family may be born in different places, live different lives, and even exist in different time periods, but they always find ways to reconnect. This is why some people feel an instant bond with certain individuals, even if they have just met them.
You know what? There was a time when I would have thought that I would have loved that, but you know what? I'm getting really fucking sick of it.
Oh, no.
I'm getting really sick of it. I'm getting sick of like, okay, so maybe I'm just focusing on the people that are annoying me right now. But like I feel like the people in my life that like I know I'm connected to in some way, it always ends up going awry.
Oh.
Maybe
Well, don't put that on me.
Okay, and that's probably not true, right? Because like there are many people that I have very pleasant experiences with that I think, yeah, I probably do have some sort of spiritual, like soul level connection with. But it's just like the people who don't do what I want them to do are more pronounced in my experience, and I'm like, you know what, fuckers.
That's because you're Harry's control freak, Carlin.
No, that is actually true though, and I know that is one of the lessons that I'm being charged with learning here. It's like you and that in these two specific cases where I'm whining about these two people specifically, it's like you need to give up control and just let this play out at its own time, bitch.
You know, okay, that is hard. And I agree with that sentiment. Honestly, it's because I have a similar experience, maybe not in the volume that you do, but every time I have like a closest bestest friend, because they always end up leaving in some way, shape, or form, and I never see them again, or we blow up in like dramatic fashion. And I sit there and I go, is it me? What did I do? Am I doing something? I'm like, yeah, I gotta think about it. I don't know. I'm sure it's gotta partially be me, but it's just weird because usually it involves some kind of element of betrayal or some kind of, all of a sudden their personality seems to switch, and I'm like, did your personality change, or did I just lose my give a shit meter for your bad behavior? Like, I can't tell which is true, but I put up with someone's freaking behavior for 35 years. She was like the closest thing I had to a sister. And all of a sudden she went off the deep end, and we haven't talked in 3 years. And like just told me to go pound sand, and I'm like, what did I do? Like, it was the weirdest. I'm still confused. But yeah, so every time I get really close to another woman, it's always a woman, go figure, I get kind of nervous. I'm like, when's the shoe gonna drop? What is gonna happen? What's gonna be the trigger? Because I get very paranoid.
No, it's the same thing, and I don't want to leave the impression that like all of my relationships blow up, because that's not true in any way. Like you and I, well, hopefully we never have a blow up.
I hope
we've known each other for a while, and it's like, I give you a reasonable amount of shit, and you can give it right back. And so I think that we have a certain level of like understanding.
Maybe we need a safe word.
Yeah, I mean maybe, but it's just like in one of these instances specifically, I know that like we are here to challenge each other. Like that is part of what the thing is. And so now, and it's just like, it's like, like, I don't want to deal with this. I just wanted to be chill. I didn't want this to turn into a whole big thing.
Totally. The one of them was a former bandmate. I think I challenged her. No, she challenged me. If you want to put it in that context, it really is helpful, actually. And I was not up for the challenge. I buckled completely. I tucked tail and ran. The second time I challenged her, and she couldn't handle it, and she tucked tail and ran. So it's just very interesting how it's like, why did I waste all this time getting close to this person just to have it blow up in my face? It makes me very sad. But I mean, it is what it is. And what's nice is that even when they leave, somebody else who's even better and better for me comes into my life. It's like that you got to sweep out the dirt to get the clean air kind of a thing.
See, and that's what my guides keep saying on this stuff. They're like, you need to like to let this go and let it play out, and something better is going to come along. And I'm like, I'm so sick of like something better coming along, because it never ends up being better.
It's just the next thing that's gonna blow up.
It's just the next fucking thing. It's the next fucking lesson. And Carlin, you need to give up your control issues and you need to let go in this. But it's like, no, I'm done. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to play anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
Like,
Taking a break. Well, and though, I think what I try to remember is the people that are stable in my life that constantly give me love and have given me love throughout the years. My stabilizers are like my parents and my husband.
mm-hmm.
And I'm really grateful for them. And I have some other friends that have kind of been background people that I never gave enough credit for sticking with me and being good friends this whole time, because they're so low key. I don't give them any attention because the squeaky wheel gets the oil. So I'm like, wow, maybe I've been fostering the wrong kinds of relationships with the wrong kinds of people. Maybe that's what I need to learn.
Yeah, I agree.
So
many planets are direct this week. Perfect week for manifesting. I haven't even been looking at astrology. I should probably look at my chart or something.
All right. Manifest some book sales. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's sale time.
That feeling of familiarity, comfort, or deep understanding often comes from the fact that both souls are part of the same soul family. Soul families are created by the oversoul, which organizes and connects souls that share a similar purpose. As we said, if we think of the oversoul as a massive tree with many branches, each branch represents a soul family. While all souls in the oversoul are connected, those on the same branch have a stronger bond because they share similar lessons, energies, and experiences. Before a soul is born into a new life, it chooses to reincarnate within the same soul family or with souls it has met before. This helps the soul grow, learn, and complete unfinished lessons. A soul family supports each other's evolution, much like a team working toward a common goal. Some ancient teachings suggest that soul families have existed since the beginning of time. They were created when Source, or God, divided itself into many oversouls, and those oversouls further divided into soul families. This means that the connections within a soul family are not just strong, they are eternal.
Okay, now I can get behind
Many
that.
people go through life searching.
I understand that. Go ahead.
As long as I don't have to go re-merge with the oversoul, like it's like it made kids and I can go back and be with it as like a parent, if you will, or I'm good with that. But I don't want to like go merge and then now we're one big soul and then pieces come. That just, I don't know. I guess I'm too much of an individualist to get the whole conglomeration thing, but I do like the whole we came from that, because I do think that does happen. I do believe that divine split into those souls, split into more souls, and those souls split. I do think it spread out like that.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes sense though. And this is what I try to explain to people. It's like, it just explained it so better. It's like, okay, so we all come from God. God created a bunch of different versions of itself and it kept splitting off because that's how we experience things. We have to have contrast. We have to have that interaction. Yeah. We all come from source. We all come from that place.
Yeah. That's great grandfather kind of a thing.
For a sense of belonging. When they meet members of their soul family, they often experience strong emotions and deep recognition. Some common signs that someone is part of your soul family include instant connection. You feel like you have known the person forever, even if you have just met them. There is no awkwardness and conversations flow naturally. Unspoken understanding is another sign. You can communicate without words, you just get each other, often finishing each other's sentences or having the same thoughts at the same time. Another sign is strong emotional impact. They trigger deep emotions in you, both positive and negative. This happens because soul family members help each other grow by reflecting hidden truths. Similar life themes and magnetic pull are two of the well-known signs. You may have gone through similar life experiences, struggles, or lessons, even if you come from completely different backgrounds. No matter how far apart you are, life keeps bringing you back together through coincidences, synchronicities, or unexpected encounters. Another sign can be feeling of home. When you are with them, you feel safe, accepted, and understood as if you are truly home. Not all soul family members stay in your life forever. Some come in for a short period to teach you something important, while others stay with you for a lifetime. The length of time does not matter. What matters is the impact they have on your soul's growth. A soul family is not just a random group of souls. It is an interconnected network where each soul plays a specific role in the spiritual growth of others. Within a soul family, different types of relationships exist, each with its own purpose, lessons, and energy. Some soul family members stay with us for an entire lifetime, while others enter and leave depending on what we need to learn. Let's explore each type of soul family member together. A soulmate is a soul that you have a deep and enduring connection with, one that spans multiple lifetimes and dimensions. Unlike the common belief that a soulmate is simply a romantic partner, the truth is that soulmates can take many forms: friends, mentors, siblings, or even rivals. They are souls who understand you on a profound level and who are destined to play an important role in your spiritual growth. The connection between soulmates feels effortless and natural, as if you have known them forever, even if you have just met. This connection is not based on superficial attraction, but on a shared spiritual frequency. When you meet a soulmate, you experience a sense of familiarity that is difficult to explain. It feels like home, like something ancient is being awakened within you. This is because in many cases, you and your soulmate have traveled together through multiple lifetimes, reincarnating in different forms, but always finding each other again. Soulmates often enter our lives to teach us important lessons. Sometimes these lessons are gentle.
I find the process of like finding soulmates to be like, it's just kind of cool. Like I think about it in terms of Victor, and I do believe like Victor is one of my soulmates. I believe we have many soulmates. It's not just one singular person. But
Right.
like if you think about it, Victor was born in Ukraine. I was born in Vermont. Like the
Yeah.
amount of circumstances that had to happen for him to wind up being my mover one
Yeah.
day, it like moving from Vermont to New Hampshire, and when I wasn't even going to hire the movie company that he worked at, but then there was no one else that could move me on that date, so I called them back and I was like, I don't give a fuck what you cost. My work is paying for this, so you will move me on this date. Like it wasn't even supposed to be that moving company. And it's just like the amount of coincidences that had to happen to even get to that point. And then I meet him and then we get married 6 months later. It's like,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
That's the universe favors speed. When it's time to collide, all kinds of stops will be pulled out. Things will be manipulated and moved into place to make the thing happen.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love
it's like
that.
the Adjustment Bureau. The movie. We should watch the Adjustment Bureau for movie night. Oh, I should have fucking put that on my movie. Maybe I'm gonna swap out one of my movie nights, Jennifer. Maybe
That'd
I
be
will
fine.
for the Adjustment Bureau.
Yeah, we can look
Maybe
at
I
that.
won't do it too. Maybe I'll just harangue you and be like, Jennifer, do you want to watch the Adjustment Bureau? Do you want to watch the Adjustment Bureau? Can we watch the Adjustment Bureau? I never get anything I want. You never give me anything I want, Jennifer.
Just say time isn't real and get it out now while we're on the tirade.
We'll see. It's a good movie though.
Oh, I love that movie. Yeah, it's great. Oh, and you know what else is that does a lot of manipulating of things is Dark City.
Dark City is also a great movie that we also need to watch for movie night at some point. That is a fucking phenomenal movie.
Yeah, let me look.
I haven't seen that in years.
See if I can't get those put in here relatively soon.
Yeah. Based wants to know over on X, whenever you guys talk about the will of the universe, are you talking about God or something else? Well, yeah, I mean, kind of, but how would you describe that? How would you explain that?
For me, it is layered. It's layered. I don't believe that God or divine is directly involved in our lives. So that said, our energy connections can manipulate things. And if we are aligned with the greater purpose that we have agreed to fulfill, the universe will work with us to bring that to us faster.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of, and also it's a nice big word for angels, spirit guides, family, all of that. It's a nice kind of big word, but also our energies, our planetary connections, all of the influences of, because we are intrinsically connected to everything. So if we move, everything moves, and that goes for all of us. So it does cause a ripple effect. So I trust the universe is going to bring me where I need to be because I made this agreement and I'm just going to watch for the signs. Because sometimes we get really caught up in our shit and we forget that the universe or whoever else out there, our guides and guardians, guidances are trying to push us this way. And if we don't trust that nudge, we can end up really in the wrong place. It's like, when you take the wrong turn and your GPS is like, at the next corner, take a U-turn. It's kind of like it's like that.
Yeah. For example, the asshole I'm dealing with now, who just needs to DM me, god damn it. Like, I know for an absolute fact, his spirit guides are basically in his ear, like all the time. Think about Carlin. Remember this time with Carlin? Don't you want to talk to Carlin? Isn't it time to talk? And he is being one stubborn asshole and not following the direction of his guides.
Everybody has their sticking point. He'll get over it.
I'm sorry. I'm obviously working through some feelings about this situation.
That's okay.
I don't want to wait anymore. I am so sick of this. Anyway, no. So we're not talking about God and like the Christian conception of God of like some big guy up on a cloud with a lightning ball. Like that's not what we're talking about. Like it's much bigger and broader than that.
Yeah, we have all of our planetary zodiac and our own influences. We have our own energy, but also like our family spirit guides, angels that are all working. That to me is the universe. Those are all the layers, and our oversoul.
True. Dragon water, I did several times. He knows it is his turn and he fucking knows it, and he just needs to get out of his own head and stop overthinking it and stop making it a bigger deal than it is and respond to my message.
Yeah.
So while monotheists like Christian view God more like a tree you are connected to, you guys view God more like a river where you can either choose to go with the stream stuff.
Not God itself, but maybe the energy of the universe, the flow of what our lives are meant to be.
Yeah, I mean, God is everything. God is like, he's called like all that is. Like everything comes from God. Like we all come from God. But like, I do like the analogy with the river with energy. It's like, if you go with the flow and listen to your spirit guides when they're guiding you.
Carlin's big mad.
It will be much easier for you. Or you can suffer and continue to not listen to your spirit guides. Okay, I'm gonna stop, I swear.
Well, I guess it's like if we're gonna just have a little fun with it, God could be the sun, overseeing and shining light on everything, and the universe and the flow could be the wind, the water, the things that influence you. And then maybe there's a rock or a branch in the stream and you need to hold on to that or steer around it or stop and get off and go up a different path to a different river. So, I mean, in that analogy, we can work with that.
Filled with love and support, but other times they can be difficult and painful. A soulmate relationship is not always smooth because their presence often forces us to confront our deepest wounds and fears.
True.
They challenge us to grow, to heal, and to remember who we truly are. In some lifetimes, a soulmate may appear as a lover, in another, as a close friend, and in yet another, as a teacher or even an adversary. No matter the role they play, their purpose remains the same, to help awaken us to our higher selves. A twin flame is not just a soulmate, but something far deeper. It is believed that in the beginning a single soul was created, but in order to experience the fullness of existence, it was split into two separate entities. These two halves journey.
Twin flames are the devil. Twin flames make everything way more difficult than they need to be. They if I could eradicate twin flames and never have that particular experience again, I would be and I know that's not a very spiritual like evolved thing to say, and I know I'm probably gonna have to relive a whole nother lifetime for the bullshit that I've had to deal with in this regard, but
well, I tell you that the guy that I thought was my twin flame, sometimes I go, was he though? Maybe I just wanted him to be. And every time I read or hear something about twin flames, I'm like, nope, that's him.
Well, see, I didn't want the person that I did not want it. I was like, this is really fucking inconvenient because I knew exactly what was going to happen. I was like, there's going to be some big fuck off blow up, and there was.
I tried for years to get us to be together, and he resisted. And then by the time I went, you're right, we shouldn't be together, he was like, "Oh, come back to me," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck, no, we're done, dude.
Yeah,
but we
no.
can be friends."
Yeah. We'll try this again in another lifetime.
Yeah, we can try
asshole.
pulling your head out of your ass next incarnation, sweetheart. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm.
Through lifetimes apart, learning, growing, and evolving until they are ready to reunite. The concept of twin flames is often misunderstood, as it is not about romance in
No,
the
it's
conventional
not.
sense, but about the
No.
profound spiritual awakening that occurs when these two souls meet. When twin flames encounter each other, the connection is immediate and intense. It is unlike any other relationship because it feels as though you are looking into a mirror, not just at another person, but at yourself. Every hidden fear, every unresolved trauma, every unhealed wound is brought to the surface. The purpose of the twin flame relationship is not to provide comfort, but to accelerate growth.
Yeah.
The connection is so
By
powerful that
causing
it often
chaos.
triggers a process of
By causing chaos and insanity and heartbreak and depression.
Yep. And night after night of crying and drinking and getting really, really
Yep.
like trying to disconnect. Oh yeah. Little
It is the
bastard.
darkest night of the fucking soul, and it sucks.
It does. It does.
deep transformation, pushing both souls towards spiritual enlightenment. However, the intensity of this connection can also make it incredibly challenging. Many twin flames experience a phase known as the runner and chaser dynamic.
Oh yeah.
One soul
Yep.
may feel
Yep.
overwhelmed by the depth of the connection
Runner.
and try to escape while the other pursues them.
No, I meant I was the
Desperate
chaser.
for
Sorry.
reunion.
Chaser.
This phase can be painful, filled with confusion and longing, but it serves a purpose to allow both souls to heal individually before they can fully unite. Unlike soulmates, who can provide harmony and support, twin flames often bring chaos before peace. They force each other to
Yeah.
shed the false identities they have built, to break free from limiting beliefs and to step into their highest potential. Only once both halves have done the inner work can they truly come together. Some twin flames reunite in this lifetime, while others may have to wait for future incarnations to fully merge once more. Karmic connections are intense relationships meant to resolve past life karma. Unlike soulmates or twin flames, they are often temporary and serve to teach difficult lessons, breaking unhealthy cycles. These relationships are emotionally charged, marked by repeated struggles, and only end
hold on a
when the
second.
lesson is learned.
Ah,
If unresolved, the
go ahead.
I remember hearing someone say that twin flames are like one of the bravest, boldest things a soul can choose to do by literally splitting itself apart and fast tracking their lessons. So twin flame A is over here learning all this shit. Twin flame B is over here learning all this shit. And when they share knowledge, they evolve twice as fast as people who may not have twin flames. Not everybody does. It's not something every soul chooses to take on, but it can cause a lot more and faster learning. And it sucks. It is hard. It is hard.
Well, I think that's like where I think most of our learning and growth comes from things that suck and things that are hard. I mean, and
True.
that just makes sense. It's like do we really learn anything when things are nice? No, most of the time when things are nice and pleasant, we don't even notice because it's like, oh, there's nothing going wrong today. Oh, it's like, and we don't usually stop to like just appreciate, hey, just like it was just a really quiet day today and no one gave me shit and everyone was nice and like maybe we should be more like appreciative of these things. Probably we'll get more of them, but it's like when the shitty stuff happens, that's what stands out. And so that's when we learn all the lessons and we end up crying all night and eating a lot of ice cream and
You know what I learned when things are nice?
what?
I like it better when things are nice, and I don't like it when things suck, and I want things to always be nice. That's what I learned. Yeah, this is good. I forgot what it felt like to go and take a deep breath without hyperventilating. I like it when it's nice. Let's do this more.
cycle repeats in future lifetimes. Meanwhile, soul guides and teachers are non-physical members of our soul family who assist from higher dimensions. They include ancestors, ascended masters, and cosmic beings who offer wisdom through intuition, dreams, and synchronicities. Unlike karmic relationships, they provide clarity, not challenges, gently guiding us toward our soul's purpose. Before a soul enters the physical world, it exists in a higher dimension, a place of pure energy, wisdom, and unity, often called the spirit realm or the in-between space. Here, souls gather to review their past experiences, analyze their progress, and plan their next incarnation. This process is guided by higher beings, spirit guides, ascended masters, and the oversoul, who help each soul design a life that will provide the most growth. During this pre-birth phase, souls reflect on the following. What lessons did I learn in my past life? What lessons do I still need to master? Who will be part of my journey this time? What relationships will challenge me the most? What karmic debts do I need to resolve? What is my greater purpose in this lifetime? Based on these reflections, a soul contract is created. This contract serves as a blueprint for the upcoming lifetime, outlining major events, relationships, struggles, and achievements. It includes agreements with other souls, some of whom will act as teachers, others as lovers, and some even as adversaries. Soul contracts are made with mutual consent. Two souls may agree to meet as best friends, to become siblings, or to fall in love. Others may agree to create conflict. One soul may take on the role of a betrayer so that the other can learn forgiveness. These roles are not about punishment, but about growth.
Hang on, I just want to reflect on that. One soul may take on the role of betrayer so that the other can learn forgiveness. See, this is the type of shit you think about.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I actually got to a point where I don't see the point in forgiveness anymore.
Yeah?
So that's kind of dark.
That is a little dark. That seems like not very spiritually evolved, Jennifer. That seems very do you have Scorpio in your chart or something? Like
Rising.
See? I fucking did.
Who'd have thought?
That explains it.
Yeah, I think I don't see the point in forgiveness if the person is not repentant.
Well,
But
because forgiveness isn't about them, it's about you.
But
It's not about them, it's about you.
But if I'm the victim, no, it's fine. Honestly, the way I view it, if I can't forgive them for their actions, because sometimes people are just shitty and there's just no getting around it, and they just do something so horrible that I just don't think that we have to forgive them all the time. But I can at least forgive myself for getting into the situation. But what actually heals me isn't forgiveness; it's understanding the purpose of why it happened. If I can find the purpose for it, I can get over it.
Yeah.
I don't need to forgive you. Everybody does shitty stuff. There are people that probably wouldn't forgive me for some of the things I've done, and that's totally fine with me. I don't need your forgiveness either. So that's my practical baseline right there.
Maybe
Surprised?
Maybe
Miss
I am more
Love over here.
Maybe I am more evolved than you, Jennifer.
I told you we both have our strengths.
Yeah.
Even those who hurt us in this life may be souls who love us deeply on a higher level, agreeing to play the role of a challenger so that we may evolve.
I think that is true. That's
Soul
another way
contract
to
is
find
more than just a
forgiveness.
vague
Yeah.
agreement to learn and grow. It is a detailed spiritual document that includes several key components such as major life lessons, key relationships, challenges and obstacles, talents and abilities, life purpose and soul mission and exit point, all of which shape the course of a person's life. Each soul chooses specific lessons to master in this lifetime. These lessons often repeat across multiple incarnations until they are fully learned. Some common lessons include self-love, forgiveness, courage, patience, humility, and compassion. Every important connection in life is part of the contract. Soulmates, twin flames, karmic partners, family members, and even rivals are chosen before birth. Their presence is meant to trigger growth and awakening. Difficult moments are written into the contract, not as punishments, but as opportunities for transformation. Illness, loss, heartbreak, and failure are all part of the soul's learning experience. Souls choose what gifts they will bring into their new life. A musician may have spent lifetimes perfecting their craft, while a healer may carry wisdom from past incarnations. These abilities are not random, they are part of a greater mission.
Do you know that I think in one of my past lives, a psychic once told me this. One of my past lives, I was like a healer of pets.
Oh.
And so, and I believe it too, because now if I'm around like animals, they all come up to me and they just all sit there and look at me sometimes. And I'm like, and I like animals way more than I like people. Like I'll like be around, maybe not
Can
cats,
relate.
but cats are okay. But yeah, the animal, they all come up to me. They all want to like nuzzle me and all that stuff. And I'm like, uh-huh.
Oh, I
You
know
think
Keena loved you when you were here, and Phelan, you couldn't quit making fun of him and how he didn't like your backpack.
Phelan was like, I chased Phelan around with the backpack. He really did. He did not like that backpack at all. He was like, he was unimpressed.
No, fuck that thing. I don't know what it is. Foreign.
Yeah, he probably because it smelled like my dogs, and he was like, "There's other dog.
No.
Is there another dog in that backpack?"
No, he was like that with everybody who had a backpack, a satchel, a big purse, anything like that. For some reason, he was maybe for him it was a past life trauma. Not the bag. Don't put me back in the bag. Like who knows, you know?
Something like that. But yeah, your Keena loved me. Keena wanted to sleep with me every night.
Yeah.
She wouldn't leave me alone.
I didn't make your bed for 3 days because she wouldn't leave it.
Yeah, it's true. It's all good.
Some souls take on specific missions to aid humanity. These missions may involve healing, teaching, guiding, or creating. A soul's mission is deeply tied to their contract and often reveals itself through intuition and passion. Every soul contract includes pre-planned moments when a person may leave the physical world. These exit points occur when the soul has completed its primary lessons. Sometimes a soul will choose to stay longer, extending its mission, while other times it will depart when its work is done.
Oh, that was a rough ending. Okay, I appreciate that video.
The other videos are not, they don't skip around. Like that one has the weird skips, like an old vinyl record. The others aren't like that. So
I didn't think that one was that bad.
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting video. All right, next up. This is before birth. This is how your soul chose your current life.
Yes.
If there are soul contracts, does that mean there are soul attorneys? No, you don't need an attorney to negotiate your soul contract. Yeah. So does evil exist anywhere in this worldview? Because it sounds like anything that might be contrived is bad, or they're just there to help us grow. But is there anything with bad intentions? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think so.
See, I don't.
You don't think there's actual evil spirits?
Well, I mean, evil spirits, yes, but I think the humans create them. I think that, like, we create demons by manifesting demons because we believe that there are demons, and so we put all our negative energy in that, and boom, demons are created. But it's because human beings created them.
Oh, yeah, that's not the view I have at all. But that's that. I mean, but not to say that that's not a way for them to come about, because I do know we manifest energy creatures, that I can agree with.
But okay, so maybe let's put the energy creature stuff aside, because that's kind of like, that's not even like even how I'm thinking about this really. So that's like a separate topic. But let's take the obviously worst person in the history of the world, Hitler. And
was he though?
Well, in this example, he's going to be.
He didn't kill as many people as what's his guy in China?
Because we're on YouTube, and I need to say that he was I will be accused of being an anti-Semite if I don't say that Hitler was the worst person. So for the purpose of this example, and also because it's something I know that this person will respond to and appreciate. Okay, so let's say we have Hitler, and let's just say for argument's sake, Hitler was the worst person in the world, and he killed no less than 10 million Jews in these concentration camps. So is that evil in this ideology? I would say no, because Hitler had a role to play. All the people involved chose to be in that sort of thing. They all chose that experience. It's for a higher purpose of learning and spiritual growth for everyone involved, and the world and the collective consciousness and all that. So can we really say that Hitler, like that, and we're talking on a spiritual perspective, can we say that it was an evil thing from the perspective of like, everyone chose this, everyone agreed to it?
I think you can.
See, I don't agree. It's like, it's like, because it's evil on the human level, but like, is it evil in the way that you are going to burn in hell for doing this thing? No.
Well, there's no judgment out there. So yeah, no,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, there's no judgment after this. We all fulfill our purpose.
I'm doing the fucking tweet accidentally on video.
Oh no. yes, bot. I think evil serves a purpose as much as good serves a purpose. It keeps and holds balance, and it helps to balance karma, which is all about purpose. So if someone takes on the role of being evil, it is to help balance something. Does that mean we have to like it? No. Does that mean it's a good thing? Probably not. I'm not endorsing evil, but I'm saying there's a balance to it. And as far as like evil spirits, demons, or other archetypical type of characters, I believe they are just as ancient as any other soul. They come from a different realm. They have their own evolution cycle. Some of them incarnate, and some of them. This is why I don't like chaotic evil, because chaotic evil doesn't care about balance, just like chaotic good doesn't care about balance. So that's a whole nother topic.
I just think where this person is coming from, though, it's like, would God smite you for doing something that's quote unquote against the rules? No, that's not going to happen.
No.
Wait, is Hitler burning in hell right now? No, because hell doesn't exist.
I don't believe so. Yeah,
no. He came here and did a job. He did a job that he agreed to do, that everyone else agreed to do. So on a soul level, is he considered to be like an evil, irredeemable thing? No, he did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Same with Mao, same with Stalin, same
Genghis
with
Khan, all the other war chiefs of the world. Mm-hmm. They all fulfilled their purpose. And sometimes that purpose isn't even to instill balance. It might be to teach lessons, as in be careful what you freaking hope for.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, every single time. It just seems like people don't get it. No, even though we have all these historical examples, one day somebody will get it.
And I promise you, everyone that was involved in every single one of those events, whether it be the Holocaust or the Cultural Revolution or like whatever, they all agreed to be a part of that, to have that spiritual experience and to learn those lessons as well.
Yes. They signed up for it with love, but they signed up for it, and it cleared up whatever karma needed to be cleared. So they're much better off now.
Mm-hmm. I like these questions. So here's a scary question. By the way, full transparency, I'm having fun. I'm a Christian. I know you're a Christian, and I appreciate that you're asking questions about this instead of like just like damning us to hell or something, because that's usually kind of like what happens.
Right.
There are billions of people on Earth, and assuming there are not there are not a limited amount of souls. There are an infinite amount of souls. Like we can, that's not. I don't think there are a limited amount of souls. Are there people walking around who are literally soulless?
No.
No.
First of all, we don't know how many souls there are. It's not like, I think Mormons are the ones that believe there's like the well of souls that like they have to empty it out. That's why some of them believe you have to have so many children to empty that out, and then that's when Jesus comes back or whatever. So there's no finite to anything. There's more people in the world now than there ever have been. Yes. Souls, though, started way before. Oh, don't even jump on me for this. Just let me use it in a sentence. Way before time began here on this planet. So billions and billions started way before them. There are enough souls to populate not just this planet, but all the planets and more.
Planets.
Yeah, and there's millions and billions of them planets, and there are other galaxies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, with also millions of billions, their own soul system and their own everything. I mean, it is so big it's hard to comprehend, but it's really fascinating. As far as our little microcosm goes, those souls are constantly hiving and being born, just like humans are being born, as above, so below. Physical reality reflects spiritual reality and vice versa.
Yeah.
So that's part of how we came into the system we're in, is because we were doing it there first. And then came down here. Yeah.
Everyone that is here made the choice to be here on a soul level.
Yeah.
Everyone.
And there's plenty where that came from. There's probably a bunch lined up, because I'm sure there's a ton of us, myself included, and I'm sure Carla too, that are burnt the fuck out and cannot wait to take a vacation before reincarnating again.
Never reincarnating again. This is a lot. That's actually not true. Obviously, I'm not that done, but I'm an Aries. I'm still a baby in this whole thing.
Yeah.
Lifetimes, with each incarnation offering opportunities for growth, learning, and resolving karmic imprints. Central to many esoteric teachings, this journey is part of a cosmic design for evolving consciousness and fulfilling divine will. Many traditions such as Hermetic, Hindu, Buddhist, and mystical Christian share key ideas about reincarnation, emphasizing free will balanced by karma. Karma connects the soul to specific lessons while preserving its choice to align with its spiritual goals.
I love sake too. Why don't I have this bigger? What am I doing? I'm being a horrible host. There we go.
Get with it.
Sake is so good. There's so many different kinds of sake. I don't know anything about sake. It's not like with beer where I'm like that like I know all the different kinds of beer. I know the brands. I just know that I like sake, and I've never really had a sake that I did not enjoy on some level.
I've never tried anything other than straight up sake. Although I had a friend who had really like aged sake, and that shit was amazing.
Oh.
But I've never had flavored.
The craft beer store where I go, they have actually a pretty good selection of sake. They've got like all the different stuff. The one I was just drinking was a sparkling sake.
Oh,
Like I've got a cloudy one in there. This is a flavored one. They have like, you know, like Asian flavors like pear, and this is coconut and lemongrass and stuff like that.
oh,
It's
this
good.
makes
man.
me want sushi. I haven't had
know,
sushi in so long.
Oh, sushi's so fucking good.
I need a
Sushi is
boat.
the best.
Need a sushi boat. That's gonna happen soon.
There you go.
The physical world, seen as dualistic and dense in spiritual teachings, offers the soul a chance to grow and refine its divine nature. Driven by the call of the infinite, the soul enters the material realm to experience polarity, for example, light, dark, pleasure, pain, and gradually
The soul enters the spiritual realm to experience polarity.
Very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Bot, you hate.
Oh,
Bot.
You uncultured swine.
You can't. No one hates sushi.
transcend illusions of the physical world. Free will and karma are central to the soul's journey. Hermetic philosophy describes the soul as a co-creator of its reality, shaped by karmic consequences from past lives. Karma educates rather than punishes, ensuring the soul experiences effects of its actions for growth and balance. Choosing an incarnation is a collaborative process involving the soul, spiritual guides, and cosmic intelligence. In the interlife or between lives state, the soul reviews past actions, assesses progress, and sets future goals. Spiritual guides offer wisdom, but the soul ultimately decides, reflecting Hermetic ideals of responsibility and sovereignty. Before you ever took your first breath, your soul was in a realm beyond time, beyond form, a place where choices are made, contracts are forged, and destinies are set in motion. Imagine standing before a vast council of ancient guides, reviewing every possible path your life could take. You didn't just pick a life.
Hang on, let's see. Base has got another question. He's asking good questions.
Okay.
If the goal is to find balance in everything, is setting up everything you do as being in opposition to the far left balanced? Or is it a force known as... Well, okay, so... I mean, you're asking about my work, but you're like, I wouldn't make the assumption that every single thing that I do is about being in opposition to the far left. Like, it might not seem like it. I have a life, bro. There are other things. I have friendships. I have relationships. Like, there's other things in life other than the left. I actually, like, find myself in far more opposition to the right fucking hates me. And I fucking hate the right. Like, I mean, so it's like, oftentimes I'm in more opposition with people who should be on my side than I am with on the left. So I wouldn't say that that's necessarily the point that we're making. Is the force known as the left a necessary spirit or entity? Yes. I mean, the left is balancing something. Like the ideology of the left.
I mean, I would say it's balancing out the far right in one way, but I had something there that was, and I'm trying to get it back. It apolitically, the quest for the soul to achieve balance is not about necessarily the world it's born into. It's more about how it uses that world to achieve the balance it needs. So these are tools that the soul is using to gain balance. If someone needs to understand complete, open, unrestricted acceptance and compassion with no any kind of guidelines, guideposts, rules, or anything, then they might find themselves being a part of the uber ultra accepted communistic queer, that whole side. Because that is how they are. They're very open. They're not, they don't have a lot of critical thinking in some ways. And if that's the experience they need, that's the experience they're going to crave. But they're using the framework of this world. It was created by people here for whatever reason. But
I think that's a really good point. And it's also like, I mean, politics is... It's very low energy. It's like, it's pretty honestly, and people don't want to hear this, it's honestly pretty insignificant in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
it's not
True.
is I mean, I know that a lot of people, we think this is the center of the world, it's all we think about, you know. I don't know, like I do believe like I'm fulfilling my purpose in doing what I'm doing right now, like on like I just like there's nothing else I can even consider doing right now, even with as many times as I threatened to quit. And it's just like it's like I can't, this is like an obsession for me, and it's an authentic thing. And so it's like on some level I know I'm here to do this. Do I understand why? Do I understand the bigger picture? Not really, but I know it's not about low level politics like who wins the next election.
No, Carlin, you're probably learning about boundary setting, self-expression, how to define and be comfortable in your own skin and with your own points of view, how to be comfortable as a leader. I mean, there's a lot of lessons you're learning by what you're going through in the framework that you've chosen to be in.
Yep. True. Very true.
You chose your challenges, your greatest
Chose your
loves,
challenges.
even the people who would hurt you.
Yep.
Why? Because every experience you'd face in this life would teach your soul something it couldn't learn anywhere else. But here's the twist. Your soul didn't act alone. There are karmic ties, ancient contracts that bind you to others. Yes, even your soulmate wasn't a random encounter. They've likely walked this journey with you through countless lives, playing different roles in each. Before entering the physical world, the soul exists in a state of pure consciousness, deeply connected to the source of creation, referred to as the divine God or universal mind. In this timeless state of unity, the soul experiences no separation, limitation, or duality. However, even in this blissful state, the soul feels an innate desire to grow, experience, and understand. This longing leads it to incarnate in the material world, where challenges and opportunities for growth abound. The soul's decision to incarnate stems from its desire for growth and self-discovery. The physical world serves as a school, offering experiences like emotions, relationships, and challenges that are impossible in its original state. Each soul has a unique mission, focusing on learning specific lessons such as compassion, forgiveness, self-love, or courage. These lessons help refine the soul, bringing it closer to its divine essence and contributing to the evolution of consciousness. This mission isn't tied to worldly achievements, but to spiritual growth and fulfilling its role in the greater cosmic design. Before its first incarnation, the soul carefully selects the circumstances that align with its purpose and the lessons it needs to learn. The soul chooses physical traits, including genetic factors, abilities, and potential health challenges. These are not random, but tailored to the soul's growth. The family serves as a foundation for early experiences, providing both challenges and support to teach important lessons. For instance, a soul-learning patient might choose a challenging family dynamic.
Yeah,
The cultural,
for real.
social, and historical context of birth
I feel fucking
shapes the
seen. I feel seen by this video, Jennifer.
Yeah, I'll take a lesson in patience with a side dish of total frustration and anger for the next 30 years. And can I get a chocolate shake with that?
You know, I mean, and I'm sure all this stuff seems great when you're on a spiritual level. You're like, I'm going to have all this growth and it's going to be awesome. And, you know, I'm going to go through these times and I'm going to learn lessons. And then you get into this lifetime and you're like, fuck you.
Fuck you, me.
What the fuck was that childhood about?
Yeah. I thought I was going to be smart and all I am is traumatized.
All I am is angry at everyone. And I don't want any human relationships anymore because of how badly my parents fucked me up.
Oh, true.
soul's experiences and opportunities for growth. The soul identifies individuals it will encounter in life, such as soulmates, mentors, or adversaries, who play crucial roles in its development.
But how I've been able to forgive my parents for all the many mistakes that they made with my childhood is that we all fucking agreed to this, and they were doing their job, and this is what I agreed to, and there's a purpose for it.
You know what I say when I realize that someone has just performed a major role to help me grow in my life? I always think, you know, I really appreciate you, but you didn't have to be such a dick about it.
Yeah, you didn't have to be such an asshole. You didn't have to be quite such a narcissist.
Yeah.
These choices form the soul's blueprint, and the first incarnation is foundational. focusing on survival and understanding the material world. Over time, the soul learns to balance physical and spiritual aspects. The physical world presents stark contrasts to the soul's original state. Upon incarnating, the soul experiences separation from its divine source, creating a sense of duality and isolation. This can lead to confusion, fear, or longing for divine connection, often described as homesickness for the divine.
Which is why
Additionally, the soul
religions
must
are
adapt
nice,
to physical
easy.
limitations.
Hang on, go ahead.
That's why religions are a nice, easy thing to attach to, because if you're newer, you get very lonely and you're scared and you don't know what to do. And there's a lot of shit out there and it's a big, scary world. And having a home with people that say, just do this and you'll go to heaven. You're like, okay, that sounds nice. You know, like,
Well, I mean, I do think, like, you know, I mean, there are good lessons in the Bible. There are
Oh,
sage
yeah.
life lessons in the Bible, and I think, you know, it might be like it's like a starter religion.
yeah, maybe so.
It's like a
Here's your
starter
soul
home.
beginner pack. Here's some Christianity. Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna go to Bible study for a couple years, and you know, maybe you'll grow out of it, maybe you won't.
Yeah, true.
Like time, space, and human emotions, which are essential for its growth and evolution. Even in its first incarnation, the soul is not alone. Spiritual guides, beings of light or higher consciousness, accompany the soul, offering wisdom and support. While these guides provide subtle encouragement and help navigate the physical realm, the soul retains free will and can choose to accept or ignore this guidance. The soul also maintains a deep connection to its divine origin, which manifests as intuition, dreams, or moments of clarity, reminding it of its higher purpose and mission. But here's where it gets even deeper.
great.
What happens after this life? How does your soul decide where to go next? And when, if ever, can you break free from this cycle entirely? But first, let's talk about the choices your soul makes after death. After the physical body dies, the soul transitions to the interlife or
ask an
between
off-topic
lives realm,
question?
a state of pure consciousness.
Yes.
So I was looking at the chat here, and like Kenny said, his North Node is in Leo. I think you're talking about yourself, Kenny. So my actual question is, what did the North Node mean again? Because I have been told something very significant about mine, and I don't remember what it is.
The North Node, I think, is like our karmic destiny, isn't it?
I don't know. Maybe
I'm
somebody in the
pretty
like I'm not
sure-
great with astrology, so that's why I'm asking.
I'm pretty sure so the South Node is where we're coming from, and then the North Node is our karmic destiny. Hang on. What is the North? We're AIing this.
Okay.
I'm gonna remind myself, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. In astrology, the North Node represents your soul's purpose and the direction of your life's evolution. It's where you're meant to grow, even if it feels uncomfortable or familiar. The South Node, its opposite, symbolizes past life habits, ingrained tendencies, and the comfort zone you're meant to move beyond. See, AI knows everything, Jennifer.
Okay.
Everything.
I'll have to look that up, because I was told that my North Node is pointing directly at galactic central point.
That means that you can tune into that. Like you can tune into like the galactic axis better.
Is that, I don't even know what that means.
It means you are psychic AF. So like when you're doing your readings with tarot cards, and like because you don't read the card, you're like more of an
I do intuitive. I don't have patience to read it. Yeah.
You basically plug right in, and you have like a very clear central line.
Oh, nice. Oh, well, that explains that. Okay, I was wondering why that was like, well, because the person who told me that also said that basically it also means that I can fulfill my purpose just by walking into a room. And I was like, okay, so that means I need to figure out my purposes. But now I'm starting to understand, like it's starting to make sense to me, because it's been about 3 years since I've had that reading.
Yeah.
It's making some sense to me now what exactly that was talking about. And it's like, I feel like then I forgot what the North Node meant. I'm like, fuck. Okay.
And you could have asked AI, but you refused to use AI for some
I just don't think of it as a tool. It's like if you're used to doing math in your head, you forget to pick the calculator up if you get stuck sometimes.
All right.
I don't know.
Beyond the
Fair enough.
limitations of the material world. In this state, the soul reflects on its previous life, reconnects with spiritual guides, and begins preparing for its next.
Hang on. I've heard some spiritual people like the QAnon shamans say that things like AI are detrimental. No, the QAnon shaman's full of shit. AI is not detrimental to our spiritual growth. It's just something that's here. It's a tool like many other tools that are here. It's just the tool we have now. And that we are investing in technology that we shouldn't be. Well, I mean, I guess like we live in the world. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And we happen to be having a human experience in a time when, you know, AI wasn't here a couple years ago. This is all brand new. And I think it's like, it's one of those things that like we chose to be born into this time where it's obvious to me that AI is going to completely change the world sooner rather than later. It's just a tool. I don't think that AI is preventing us from being spiritually aware or spiritually connected. It's just a tool like anything else.
Well, you can say that, and I'll counterpoint you just a smidgen, because you're absolutely right about what you said. I completely agree, and I'll caveat that with, for people who have the mental stability and fortitude to treat it as a tool. Because if QAnon shaman, he's not the QAnon. He's just the shaman. You had him on. He's a sweet man.
I like him. He doesn't like me anymore because I'm friends with the Groypers now. But like, I never had any issue with the QAnon shaman.
He's a love. He's an absolute love, and he's not anything to do with QAnon. But anyway, but I think, you know, he's probably being more cautionary to those souls who don't have high discretion, who now are going to just rely on it for everything instead of using their own. Because see, like people have said the same thing about, say, spell checkers and like Pro Writing Aid and Grammarly, and if we rely on all this, we'll stop learning how to spell. Now that is true for some people. However, for me, it has helped me to learn how to spell. I'm a terrible speller. I'd learn how to spell so many more words than I ever knew before because I feel like I'm learning from AI. You're using it as a tool to learn. So am I. Other people just use it as a crutch and then go on and continue to be just as dumb as they were before.
But that's part of their path then, probably. That's part of their lesson is to learn how to do without it or whatever. But it's like, but it's kind of like, you know, I mean, what were we told in math class when we were in school? You have to learn the times tables because there's going to become a time when you don't have a calculator in your back pocket. And it's like, oh yeah, I don't have a calculator. Oh yeah. You made me memorize these fucking times tables when I was 10 years old and you lied. You lied. I do have a calculator in my back pocket at all times.
Oh my God, that is awesome. That is awesome. All I have to do is ask my husband. He's one of those people that can do impossible math in his head. I can ask him any question. He'll be like, blah, 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 blah. He'll just rattle the answer off and then I'll check him. He's always right. He's incredible. My brain does not work that way. Numbers and I are not friends.
I used to challenge. I actually love the times tables in school because I was like low key am like really good at math. Like I don't like math, but I'm really good at it. And so I would always challenge myself to be like the first person done the times table quizzes in my class. And I would do it like the teacher would hand out the quiz and be like, bing.
Oh, I wanted to show you my fancy glass.
Oh yeah, let's see. Ooh, hang on. That's very pretty, Jennifer.
My little decanter that I got from my Fuchs. So it's
nice.
my wine allotment because I'm trying to cut down the wine because in writing mode, sometimes I tend to just drink without thinking. And the next morning I wake up and I'm like, how much wine did I have when I was writing last night? I feel like shit today.
You're like,
so this
what
is
the
my
fuck
allowance.
happened?
Yeah. So I'm like, this is a good way to give me my allowance. But yeah, it's my little, isn't that beautiful? I love that.
Next incarnation. This realm is not about reward or punishment, but serves as a space for learning, growth, and planning. One key aspect of this phase is the life review.
God, I love these questions that Based is sending in. Do your guys' families or friends, like your husbands, believe the same spiritual things you do, or do they look at you like you're crazy when you bring it up? My husband and I do not. I actually don't even know what my husband believes. He just doesn't talk about it. But he's completely supportive of what I believe. Like he doesn't really care. But I don't know anyone. I don't have any family that believes what I do.
My husband is a pagan. He is non-practicing, but he is a guardian, and he does act as guardian to circle if needed. He's dated 2 witches that I know of. One high priestess, that's me. Married me because I'm better. But my mother is also a pagan. My father is agnostic now. He just is like, you know what? I'll find out when I'm dead. Whatever you do is fine. I find it all fascinating. My dad's kind of the intellectual, like, tell me what it is. This is cool. Let me learn all the things. And then but he doesn't practice anything because he doesn't see any reward system or merit in it. And he's not wrong. It's you do what you do. You do what you enjoy doing, where you want to build connection. I practice magic and ceremony and ritual because I seek connection with this planet and with the spirits that hover around it, not because I feel like it's going to get me to heaven or make me a better karmic thing. I just like the connection that it gives me.
Where the soul examines its previous life from a broader, more detached perspective. The soul relives its actions, thoughts, and choices, experiencing their emotional impact on others. This process is educational, fostering a deeper understanding of the consequences of its actions.
You know what's another
It helps
movie?
the soul.
You know what's another movie that we need to watch for movie night? Defending Your Life.
Oh yeah, I watched that on your advice last year. I think I watched it. That is really cute.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, it is. Another one that's kind of similar is Made in Heaven. It's a love story. Maybe we'll do that.
Seen that.
Yeah, it's Timothy Hutton. Back when he was a thing, and it's a really sweet movie about soulmates, actually.
Recognize areas where it grew and where lessons remain unfinished, setting the stage for future experiences. Karma plays a vital role in shaping the soul's journey. Far from being punitive, karma is about balance, teaching, and growth. Every action, thought, and emotion creates energetic ripples that eventually return to the soul. For example, a soul that caused harm might choose to experience a similar situation in its next life to develop empathy and understanding. Similarly, acts of kindness or generosity may result in positive opportunities and experiences in future lifetimes. The soul also forms soul contracts, agreements with other souls about relationships and dynamics in the next life. These contracts outline key relationships, such as family roles, romantic partnerships, or challenging connections, each designed to teach specific lessons. For instance, a soul might choose to be born to a particular family to learn patience or unconditional love. Two souls might plan to meet as romantic partners to explore trust and intimacy. Difficult relationships, such as with a rival or a challenging parent.
Dan Crenshaw, didn't you just threaten to kill Tucker Carlson the other day? Maybe not this specific Dan Crenshaw, but...
Is that MP? I want to know if that's Murphy.
I don't know who this
That looks like something Murphy would do.
I don't know who this is, but I love it when Dan Crenshaw shows up in the chat.
Oh my god! I'm gonna go use the. What?
Did you see that Dan Crenshaw literally did threaten to kill Tucker Carlson?
No, I didn't see it. I heard about it.
Something.
I saw a headline and I went, "Oh, eye roll." Yeah. Exactly. I'm gonna go use the little goddess room. I'll be right back.
All right, sounds good.
Could be planned to foster forgiveness or resilience. These contracts are flexible, allowing for adjustments based on the soul's free will and choices during life. Souls often incarnate with soul groups, clusters of closely connected souls that evolve together over many lifetimes. These groups provide mutual support and growth, with members appearing in various roles, like family, friends, mentors, or even adversaries, depending on the lessons needed. Some souls share particularly deep connections, such as soulmates, who help each other fulfill shared purposes, and twin flames, two halves of the same soul seeking balance and unity.
Flames.
After the life review and karmic assessment, the soul begins the creative and intentional process of designing its next incarnation. This involves several key decisions. The soul selects physical traits such as gender, appearance, and even potential health challenges, all tailored to support its mission and growth. The soul chooses a family dynamic that will provide the lessons or support it needs. For example, a nurturing family might help the soul develop self-worth, while a challenging family could foster resilience and strength. The soul selects broader factors such as its socioeconomic status, culture, and historical period, which shape the challenges and opportunities it will face. Some significant events, like meeting important people, facing life-changing challenges, or achieving milestones, are pre-planned to guide the soul's development. However, the soul retains flexibility to adapt to circumstances through its free will. While much of the next life is planned, the soul retains free will, which allows it to respond to life's events in unique ways. If a soul avoids a planned challenge, new opportunities may arise to ensure it learns the intended lesson. The universe continuously adjusts to support the soul's growth, offering creative ways to meet its spiritual goals. Once the planning is complete, the soul prepares for reincarnation. This involves crossing a veil that separates the spiritual and physical realms, causing the soul to forget its past lives and pre-birth plans. This forgetting ensures that the soul's experiences in the material world feel authentic and spontaneous. Despite this, subtle reminders of the soul's purpose persist. These may manifest.
Hang on, I got another question from Based here. So in Christianity, generally we have this thing called apologetics, where we basically write out rigorous defenses of our beliefs, why we believe it, some of which being philosophical, others being evidentiary. I'm not sure what this religion is called. I would not call it New Age. New Age is just a marketing thing. It's our beliefs are older than your Bible, okay? But is there an apologetics defense? No, I mean, I think so. I mean, okay, maybe there is an apologetics defense. I don't know about it, but I think like my perspective on it is I don't actually feel the need for there to be an apologetics defense of what I believe, because I'm on my path, you're on yours. We're not here to do the same things. We don't have the same journey in this life. I don't feel the need to convert anyone to my belief system. I think Christians do feel the need to convert people to their belief system. I'm perfectly happy if we go our entire lives believing completely different things, because there's nothing that you're going to say to convince me that I'm wrong about what I believe, and I don't particularly care to convince you. That's how I kind of feel about it.
I think the reason we don't need apologetics is because we don't think you are wrong or will suffer horrible consequences if you don't follow our ways. We accept how you are. I'm not going to say I'm totally, totally right. I'm not going to say you're totally, totally right. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think I'm wrong. I think we are both experiencing what we need to experience. But the difference is we don't persecute people for it.
Yep. Yeah.
So I mean, I got nothing to apologize for my people. We're usually the ones getting hung and drowned and burned and like, whatever. You want to apologize for that? That's fine.
Well, I mean, and I think that's a really great way to put it. It's like, we don't have a problem with you being Christian. If you want to be Christian, you be fucking Christian. I don't care. I don't have a problem with someone being an atheist. I think it's stupid. Personally, I think a lot of atheists are really angry people, and I think that they should, maybe explore that, but that's the path they chose. I don't have a problem with people believing anything differently than I believe. We don't need to convert people.
Best as instincts, dreams, or a deep inner calling. Throughout life, the soul is guided by these inner signals and the influence of its spiritual guides, who remain a constant source of support and wisdom. You see, reincarnation is like a school. Each lifetime is a classroom where you learn lessons, clear karmic debts, and evolve. But here's the catch. Until you master certain lessons, you're...
See, you think you're getting a dunk in right now, but you're not getting a dunk. In all fairness, if we persecuted you, don't you believe you chose that before you were born? Do you know how many fucking times I've heard that in the past? Don't you believe that you chose to be canceled for saying Hitler went to heaven before you were born? Like 8,000 times I've heard that. But I mean, yes, honestly, yeah, that's actually true. Yes.
But you didn't have to be the asshole. There could have been another asshole that could have taught that lesson. Just like we didn't have to have the Spanish Inquisition. We didn't have to have all those things, but they did exist. Did we choose to utilize them? Again, look at it in the framework of the world we have. We're using that framework to learn lessons. Are we choosing that? Yeah, we're choosing it because it's been invented by Christians, not because we need it to be there so we can learn this lesson because we need Christianity. Let's come up with Christianity so we can persecute other people or so that we can bring people to Jesus. I mean, no, that's not how it's already there. Yeah, we're just driving in the lanes, man. I didn't build the road. I just have the car.
and guess what, Based? You're going to experience the karma for whatever people that you persecute. So you're going to be on the receiving end of that at some point, bro.
I don't think he's a persecuting type.
No, I don't think he is. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, if you're the one out there, like, persecuting people or burning witches or drowning them or whatever, like at some point you are going to experience the repercussions of that.
Oh yeah. If not in this life, then the next. What goes around, man?
Yep. Do whatever you want to do, but be prepared to experience the blowback for whatever you do. You will experience the blowback if you put good into the world. You'll experience good if you put pain and, other things into the anger and toxicity into the world, you're going to experience that at some point. So do whatever the fuck you want, but be prepared to experience the consequences or the balance of whatever you do.
Well, there's also such a thing as toxic love too.
Yeah, that's
So, I
true.
mean, there's a whole spectrum. That's a whole nother thing. But I just felt like I needed to say that. So
Bound to return over and over again. What determines your next family? Your next challenges? It all depends on the energy you've carried forward, the karma you've built, and the contracts you've yet to fulfill. Liberation or freedom from the cycle of reincarnation is not about escaping life, but transcending the illusions and limitations of the material realm. It allows the soul to exist in harmony with its divine source, experiencing unity, peace, and boundless creativity. This state, known as enlightenment, moksha, or ascension, is celebrated across various spiritual traditions. Enlightenment does not mean the soul loses individuality or ceases to exist. Instead, the soul becomes fully conscious of its divine nature, shedding layers of illusion that create separation. In this state, the soul can choose to remain in higher dimensions of existence or return to the physical plane as a guide or teacher, free from karmic obligations. Achieving liberation is a
that's
gradual process
interesting.
of spiritual awakening and mastery.
I didn't realize that. So ascended masters can return as teachers without experiencing karmic ramifications.
because they've learned everything. But that doesn't give you a free ride to go be an asshole either. It's just because they don't have karmic ramifications because they don't rack up karma.
Right.
They're too smart.
I never thought about that before.
Yeah.
Requiring the soul to release attachments, resolve karma, and align with universal truths. The journey begins with cultivating self-awareness. The soul must recognize its patterns, desires, and fears, understanding how these bind it to the material world. Practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-reflection enable the soul to observe thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. Inner work often involves addressing unresolved karma and healing wounds from past lives. By forgiving others, seeking forgiveness, and releasing resentment, the soul frees itself from energetic ties that perpetuate the cycle of reincarnation. Attachments to people, possessions, and outcomes tether the soul to the physical plane. The Hermetic principle of mentalism teaches that reality is shaped by thought. When the soul clings to material desires or fears, it reinforces its connection to the cycle of reincarnation. Detachment does not mean abandoning love or responsibility, but involves experiencing life fully without relying on external factors for happiness. A detached soul can love deeply, work passionately, and appreciate life's beauty while remaining free from dependence on outcomes. Liberation requires harmony with the universal principles governing existence.
The dependence on outcomes really fucks me up really badly.
I
know that. I fucking know that. I'm like, and that's where the control issues come in.
Oh, yeah. I need this to be a certain way.
Like, I'm going to willpower this outcome, and it will happen because I will make it happen.
I have overplanned things, including my own wedding, to the point where I hardly even enjoyed like the party or the whatever, because I was so like on it about how perfect everything has to be. This has to be this way, and then we're gonna do this, and then 8:15 and 20 seconds we're gonna go do that. Yeah,
it's like over planning a vacation, and you just like you're just spending the entire vacation running around, and you never actually get a vacation on your vacation.
Yeah, you forget to relax, enjoy, let the moment happen. Yo.
These include recognizing that every action creates ripples influencing the soul's journey, understanding the interconnectedness of all things and acting in ways that honor this unity. Raising one's vibrational frequency through thoughts, emotions, and actions that resonate with love, truth, and harmony. By living in alignment with these laws, the soul becomes a conscious co-creator with the divine, transcending physical limitations. The ultimate step toward liberation is the realization of the oneness of all existence.
What's that?
Can we acknowledge Based's compliment there?
Yeah, we should. Well, the reason I'm here in the first place, honestly, is because I think some of it is true. I've had dreams that I do believe are different dimensions, but I do think you guys grasp some truth that Christians miss out of fear. I think that that is true as well, Based. I appreciate that.
We're glad you're here.
We're glad, and I actually really, I mean, I've been pausing because I actually do really, I love it when Christians ask questions about what we believe, and they're
Yeah.
not, they're actually doing it from a place of like genuine curiosity
Yeah.
rather than, oh, so you believe in past lives and
Yep.
reincarnation, and you know how dumb that is, you know how stupid that is. Like, it's like, okay,
My
yeah,
least favorite are the ones that quote Bible scriptures for everything. Oh yeah, well in Ecclesiastes, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, oh man.
It's like, again, our beliefs are older than your Bible.
Indeed.
They don't like it when you say that either, which is why I say it all the time. It's like, you believe in New Age? Okay, well, my beliefs are older than your
Nope.
books. Your books are basically like new fairy tales.
I love that you say that like New Age is a marketing tool, because I forget that sometimes, because I know it is, I know it was, but it helps me remember. Yes, of course, and because I kind of got involved in a little of that when I was a burgeoning little ex-Christian, and
Well, everyone does.
know,
I mean, because
yeah.
it's like because it is interesting. It's like, and then you have the New Age section in the bookstore, which is where all the cool books are, if we're
Oh,
being
yeah.
honest about it. But it's just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
it was a thing that came out in like, what is it, the 60s or the 70s with the
Late
hippies
60s,
and
yeah.
like all that stuff.
Yeah, the New Age religions. Nothing wrong with it. Whatever, ancient rediscovery, I prefer. Thank you.
I actually like that. The ancient beliefs.
Yes, the old ways.
In the material world, the soul perceives itself as separate from others and the divine. Awakening unity consciousness dissolves this illusion, allowing the soul to experience its true nature as part of an infinite whole. This awakening often arises through deep spiritual practices such as meditation, prayer, or mystical experiences. It can also occur spontaneously, triggered by profound love, loss, or moments of insight. The soul reaches liberation when it has learned the lessons it sought from the material world. This milestone is not dictated by external forces, but by the soul's own readiness to transcend. Signs of a soul nearing liberation include a diminished attachment to material success or failure,
Well,
and
I'm
a
fucked.
profound sense of inner peace,
Yeah.
regardless of external circumstances, and also an unwavering love and compassion for all beings, a longing to return to
Hey,
the divine.
Based, you'll like this. Jesus is an ascended master. All
Yes.
right, we believe in Jesus. We just don't
Yes.
believe in the same way you do, but like we believe in Jesus as like a divine spiritual teacher.
Yeah, I believe he was a Christ consciousness incarnate. He was an ascended master that didn't have to come back, but did.
Yep.
Source or selflessly serve others. At this point, the soul chooses its next step. Some souls ascend to higher dimensions, exploring and creating within more subtle realms. Others may choose to reincarnate, not out of necessity, but as enlightened guides or teachers to assist others on their paths. Throughout history, enlightened beings, such as Buddha, Jesus, and other spiritual masters, have chosen to reincarnate. Unlike ordinary souls, they return not due to karmic necessity, but to uplift humanity. These beings, often called bodhisattvas or avatars, serve as reminders of the soul's potential for liberation. Hermetic teachings describe these beings as embodying the highest principles of wisdom, love, and power. Acting as bridges between the physical and spiritual realms, they offer guidance, inspiration, and support to those still navigating the cycle of reincarnation. By observing and learning from these enlightened beings, souls can find both encouragement and a roadmap for their own journey toward liberation.
Ooh, young. Oh, we should do an episode on young.
If you're ready to dive deeper, join
That what you feel like, why you feel like you are different. Ooh, this is a good channel, Jennifer.
Thank you.
I'm appreciating this so far. Okay, that's the end of that video.
3.
We've got one more video. Let me bring it up.
I just got 3/4 of the way through my sewing project here and realized I'm using the wrong stitch. Fuck.
Happens.
It does. To answer your question, Based, I don't think racial inheritance spiritually is a thing necessarily, but it is part of your journey's makeup, and it is what you have taken into your soul, the lessons you learned. You probably were there when all that shit was going down. So you have the ability to relate to it in today's day and age, if that makes sense.
Yep. Okay, our last video is going to be how a spirit chooses next parents and soulmates after death.
See the journey. We got the pre-life, then the life, now the afterlife for the next life.
Is this the Akashic Records right here?
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I think it's just, I don't know. Maybe.
Everyone
However
says it
you
looks
need to experience
differently. Everyone
Yeah.
says it looks differently.
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I wouldn't know.
You got scared. We had this discussion.
I can't. Okay, whatever. We're not going to talk about this again. It's deeply personal. We don't talk about it on the internet. Okay.
Next time you come out here, I'll help you through a journey and you can find them and it'll be all safe because I'll protect
I
you.
want to see the Akashic Records too, God damn it.
Yep.
Do you know where our spirit go when we die? What if your death is an illusion and the real you has never been born, never died, and never truly existed in the way you think? The truth is, you've already died countless times. What you fear isn't death itself, but the unknown path your soul takes afterwards.
Yep.
If you fail to recognize the luminous light at death, you'll be trapped in an endless cycle of birth and death. Heaven and hell aren't external places. They're states of consciousness you will experience after death based on these things. These are the secrets we will uncover in a minute. For millennia, death has been called the great unknown. But death is not a mystery, it's a passage. Imagine consciousness itself, transcending the physical body, unfazed by the end of flesh and blood. It is the soul's awakening, the moment when the spark within us is freed from its earthly shell. The Tibetans saw death not as an end, but as a continuation, a path back to the source of all being. And that source is you. Through death, the soul enters states of profound mystery, called the Bardos, hidden realm, where the very fabric of existence unfolds. In mystical traditions, death is rarely seen as a cessation. It is instead understood as a transition, a movement of consciousness from one state to another, much like the metamorphosis of a caterpillar into a butterfly. Death is a shedding of the old and a birth into a new form of existence. Mystics and sages throughout history have described death as a journey across a sacred threshold, leading the soul from the dense physical world into subtler realms where it can undergo further experiences, purifications, and learning. In esoteric philosophy, death is described as a return, a pilgrimage back to the source. This return allows the soul to shed the material burdens accumulated over a lifetime and return to its essence, a pure consciousness that exists beyond space and time. The cycle of birth and death, or samsara, is a process of refinement. Each death is an opportunity to evolve spiritually, to approach closer to the ultimate realization of one's true nature, and to break free from the cycle of reincarnation, known as the wheel of samsara.
Yeah.
According
Go ahead.
You know about all of the, like, the hardships and shit I went through last year with my dogs and everything.
Yeah.
So when we got these puppies, Bodhi, my boy puppy, who's my sweetie puppy, I named him Bodhi because it means enlightenment, specifically ending the cycle of death.
Oh.
So when I'm listening to this, it makes me think of Bodhi, yeah. Oh, little sweetie boy. They're so big. They're over 50 pounds now, Carlin.
No shit.
And they're probably only half grown. I don't know who the daddy was, but these dogs are gonna be enormous.
I haven't seen them in a minute. I saw them when they were puppies, and you were showing them to us, and now they're teenagers basically. They're all
oh boy, don't they know it? They need to get fixed because they're getting close. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. That'll be fun. They'll get the cone of shame.
Cone of shame, indeed.
to many ancient texts, including the Tibetan Book of the Dead, consciousness is not merely a product of the brain or physical body. It is a universal principle, an eternal spark that connects every living being to a vast cosmic intelligence. In this view, consciousness survives physical death and remains intact, journeying through various planes of existence. Mystical traditions often describe consciousness as the soul or spirit, a boundless awareness that transcends the temporary and material nature of the physical form. This enduring essence of consciousness is what travels through different realms or states after death. Mystics believe that consciousness is an infinite field and that life itself is an expression of this field, manifesting temporarily in physical form. The death experience is simply consciousness withdrawing from the physical shell to re-emerge in its pure form. But what is the purpose of knowing what happens after death? For ancient cultures, understanding death was as crucial as understanding life itself. Death is not merely a topic of curiosity, but a profound means to understand the nature of existence and purpose. The Tibetan Book of the Dead, along with other mystical texts, serves as a guide for the dying process, designed to assist the soul in achieving liberation and avoiding the pitfalls of fear, attachment, and ignorance that bind it to further cycles of birth and death. Preparation for death is considered essential, as the mindset and consciousness at the moment.
Hang on. You opened the fucking can of worms.
Saw that, I'm like, uh-oh.
Did dogs choose to be dogs? Yes, the dogs chose to be dogs.
You need to watch our DISENRAGE that we did back in August. I believe it was around, because Phelan died on August 10th. So it was whatever Tuesday was after that. We did what happens to your pets after they die.
Mm-hmm.
Watch that, based, because we talk a lot about that. I believe that animal souls reflect animals on Earth. They are there, they are here. And there are different levels of consciousness. I'm not going to go into all of it because it's kind of a long conversation, but dog souls are dogs, and that is their purpose. Now, can some evolve? Yes, but again, long conversation, but they are that they are. And we make contracts with them too. They make contracts with us. They come here to teach us things and give us experiences. And so, yeah.
Will really blow his mind when he learns we can choose to be aliens on different planets too. Because we can do that. We don't have to come to Earth. We can go be an alien on a different planet.
This is home base for us, but because we're earthbound souls. However, that was one I almost looked it up, almost went there. How to find out what planet your soul is from.
We should do that. I don't know that. I've never thought about that.
Like, maybe we'll do that next week, because that's what I saw some of that, because I've heard about, oh, maybe you're actually a Pleiadian who came down here. Maybe you're Tauran. Maybe you're, whatever. You can't be reptilian because they don't have souls technically, but there's all these different Arcturian. There's a bunch of different kinds, like how to find out where your souls are. You Libran, blah, blah, blah. Or are you just your basic human, that came down and is, there's a lot that, because a lot of those souls do come here because it's a really good school. We actually have a decent school here.
So we have a different experience here than other places because we have emotions, and like other like beings don't necessarily have in other places don't have emotions like we do, is my understanding.
It depends. Some do, some don't. I think that Carl Sagan said it best in Cosmos when the alien told Ellie, "You're an interesting mix." And I think that we are truly unique in that. So yeah, maybe we'll look into that next week. That would be fun.
That would be fun.
Death are believed to have a significant impact on the soul's journey beyond. By mastering an awareness of death, individuals can become liberated from the fear of it, achieving an inner freedom that enhances the spiritual journey, both in life and in the afterlife. Bardo, it means between. In Tibetan mysticism, Bardo means intermediate state or in-between state. The Bardo refers to various transitional realms that the soul navigates not only after death, but also during other transitional moments in life. Each Bardo serves as an opportunity for transformation, growth, and transcendence. The Bardo is a place of liminality, a moment when the usual boundaries of time, identity, and materiality are suspended, allowing the soul to perceive reality from a broader, more profound perspective. There are different types of Bardo states. The Tibetan Book of the Dead outlines 6 Bardos, each corresponding to a stage of consciousness that presents a unique set of experiences and opportunities for liberation. The very first state of the Bardo states is the natural Bardo of this life. This is the Bardo experienced during our waking life, where we are actively shaping our consciousness and karmic patterns. This stage offers the most profound opportunity for preparation, as it allows us to work with our consciousness directly through meditation, ethical living, and detachment. The second state of the Bardo states is the painful Bardo of dying. This is the stage when the soul begins to separate from the physical body. This Bardo marks the beginning of the soul's journey, where each element, earth, water, fire, air, and space, dissolves, and the individual begins experiencing detachment from physical sensations. It is a time of powerful visions and sensations, often described as challenging and disorienting. As the final moments of life approach, Tibetan teachings describe a journey through dissolution, a gradual unraveling of the body, mind, and self. This process unfolds like a sequence of doorways, each opening into a more subtle realm of awareness as the physical body fades and the energetic core begins its release. Here, death is not simply an end, but a profound mystical passage. The journey begins with the earth dissolving into water. The body, once strong and steady, now feels frail. Strength slips away and a sense of weight and gravity overtakes it, as if the person is sinking or being gently compressed. This heaviness, however, is not merely physical. It is the body's farewell to the stability it has always known. As water dissolves into fire, bodily fluids dry up, and a growing thirst signals the start of this inner drought. Warmth begins to fade from the hands, feet, and face, slowly retreating inward. The individual may feel a dimming, as if life itself were withdrawing, moving closer to the center. Next, fire dissolves into air, and here warmth fully departs the body. A coolness settles, and with it visions may come. Flickering lights, sparks, or vague undulating shapes that
elemental
float before the mind's eye.
Yeah.
It is as though the inner fire, the spark of life, is surrendering itself, leaving only a gentle breath. With the fading of air into space, breathing becomes shallow, light as a whisper. Thoughts and sensations drift, scattered like leaves on a windless day. In these moments, the mind begins to sense a vast emptiness, an all-encompassing quiet. As perceptions blur, a sense of boundless space expands, as if the self is slowly melting into the great unknown. Finally, space dissolves into pure consciousness, and all that remains is awareness, bare and boundless. Freed from the body, the mind, and identity itself, this consciousness is described as a luminous, radiant presence. It is an opening, a last precious gateway, into the realm beyond form. Tibetan wisdom teaches that this moment is sacred, a threshold where the consciousness can perceive its truest nature, luminous and vast. For those trained in these teachings, death is not feared, but approached with deep reverence as an opportunity for liberation. If, in these fleeting moments, one can recognize the light of pure awareness, they may transcend the cycle of rebirth and suffering, merging with an endless, profound peace. This is the ultimate passage, a journey of transformation through dissolution, where what remains is a glimmer of the eternal. Before we continue, please like and share this video. The third state of the Bardo states is the luminous Bardo of Dharmata. In this Bardo, the soul encounters the clear light of reality, a pure, non-dual light that represents the ultimate truth. Here, the potential for liberation is highest. If the soul can recognize this light as its own nature, it can achieve instantaneous liberation. However, if it does not recognize it, it moves into more differentiated visions of peaceful and wrathful deities. In the Tibetan teachings, the luminous Bardo of Dharmata unfolds as a realm of pure light, a stage in the journey after death where the soul confronts the very essence of reality itself.
Is this when we walk into the light?
Here, the clear light, a radiant, non-dual awareness, emerges as the ultimate truth. It is vast, formless, and free from the illusion of identity, a light so pure that it transcends all worldly constraints. For those who are prepared, this light is not an external phenomenon.
I like that it says like it frees you from like identity. So one of the things that Joe Dispenza does when he's teaching meditation is he says, "Oh gosh, I'm gonna forget. Like you are no one, nowhere, no time. Like you're just in the void. And that's like the state of mind. Like you don't have your identity. You are not in any particular. You are just in the void. There's no time. There's nothing restricting you." And I don't know, that was always kind of like a powerful thing for me to think about.
Well, that's nice. You know, to take away the constrictions and...
Well, because you're trying to get out of like your own ego, essentially. Like,
oh yeah,
you are no one, you are nothing, you are nowhere, you are no time. There's nothing you need to do right now. It's just like it just is.
See, I argue with that in my head. I wish I
every time Capricorn.
I worked very hard to get my ego where it is today. Thank you. To be told that I am nothing. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm good. Do you know my first Reiki master waited to do me last when she was doing my first attunement?
Yeah.
Because she knew that I would be perfectly fine in my own little bubble while she tuned everybody else. And then by the time she got to me and she tuned me, she asked me, she goes, "What were you doing?" I felt something, and I said, "I'm zipping around in my little safety bubble." She's like, "I knew you were doing something." I just kind of detached, was like, "Ping, ping, 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 la, 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 la." I don't need someone to tell me I'm nothing. I could just be light.
There you go.
Reflection of their own deepest nature, a gateway to enlightenment itself. At this threshold, liberation can occur in an instant. Should the soul recognize the clear light as its own true essence, freedom from the cycle of birth and death is realized, and the soul is liberated. But this recognition is not so simple. It requires complete detachment from the habits, thoughts, and attachments that have accumulated over lifetimes. Fear, often born of the unknown, must be overcome, and the mind must remain open, unclouded by the illusions it has created. For most, however, the Dharmata Bardo is not so clear. As the clear light begins to fade, the soul often experiences vivid visions, deities both peaceful and wrathful. These are not external entities, but symbolic reflections of the soul's own karma, emotions, and consciousness. These figures are projections of the mind, and through them, the soul is given an opportunity to recognize the nature of its own illusions. Each vision, whether serene or fearsome, is a reflection of the soul's internal state and a chance to release the patterns that bind it. Yet this is not an easy task. The primary obstacles in this bardo are fear, ignorance, and attachment.
Yeah.
When the clear light fades, many souls fall into confusion, unable to see the light for what it truly is. Instead, they become trapped in their own projections, drawn back into the cycles of rebirth, repeating old patterns of suffering. The teachings of the Tibetan Book of the Dead offer guidance in these moments, prayers and instructions to remind the soul to let go, to see these visions as nothing more than illusions of the mind, and to return to the radiant awareness that is always present. The fourth state of the Bardo states is the karmic Bardo of becoming. If liberation is not attained in the Dharmata Bardo, the soul enters the Bardo of becoming, where it is drawn to rebirth. This stage is governed by karmic forces, and the soul is pulled toward new parents and circumstances based on its past actions and unresolved attachments. The journey through the karmic bardo of becoming is an intricate dance of energies, a process where the soul is drawn into its next incarnation by the powerful pull of its past actions, thoughts, and intentions. This realm, shaped by karma, is not simply a place of judgment, but a space where the soul continues its evolution, guided by the unseen forces of its own past. As the soul leaves the physical body, it enters a state where it is magnetically attracted to realms that mirror the frequency of its accumulated karma.
Oh, God.
The forces at work in this bardo are not random, but are deeply
like
tied
that.
to the purity or distortion of the soul's intentions over countless lifetimes.
Whoa.
A soul that has acted with compassion, love, and truth is gently drawn toward higher, more harmonious planes of existence, where peace and spiritual growth are more readily accessible.
I hope I was
Conversely,
as
a
nice
soul
as
that
I
has
am
been
now in
driven
the
by
patch
fear,
it.
hatred, or ignorance is pulled into denser realms, where suffering persists not as a punishment, but as a catalyst for learning and transformation. The Tibetan teachings reveal that this pull is not about retribution, but about the soul's need to confront unresolved energies and continue its journey toward liberation. In the karmic
It's
bardo,
like-
the
it's
subtle
like-
mind of the deceased
It's like, you done brought this on yourself.
Yeah.
Bitch. Like,
Yeah.
and you know it, and we know you know it, and now you got to deal with your shit. And it's like, but I don't want to. I was. It's not
Well,
fair.
and notice some of the key terms here are cumulative. So
Yeah.
it's not just this life's stuff, like it's all of your lifetimes. If you've been a majority of a, gentle, compassionate versus, asshole attacking person, aggressor, that's all going to be, so it's your whole soul's journey as a whole, not just how you did in this life that needs balance. That's when shit gets real right there.
See, that's what terrifies. I think I've done like an okay job in this life. I feel like I've been, now being on the internet professionally full time, I feel like I've certainly done better than most have done. I think I may have underestimated my kindness and my empathy several years ago, but I now know that most people are far worse than I am. And
You're allowed to react to things, Carlin. It's not going to ruin your karmic future.
I
You're allowed to have
know.
reactions.
Well, I
Yeah.
know, but like, but I do look at other people that I have to deal with, and I'm like, do you even understand what you're doing to yourself? Like that's almost like a regular. And when I see it play out in real time, like there's one particular thing right now where I'm watching someone who just like really did some damage, and I'm watching him try to claw his way back out of the damage that he has
Oh.
done to himself. And it's like, it's one of those things where like, I said to him when he was fucking around, I'm like, you're gonna have a real hard time, and you're gonna and there's that's just the way it is. Like, and he took it at the time as like I was threatening him, like she's gonna do this. That, and I'm like, no, I don't need to do anything. You are going to experience the ramifications of your actions.
Yeah.
And he had no idea what he meant, and he tried to make this thing, she's threatening me, she's this horrible person because she's threatening me. And now he's like trying to claw his way out, and no one gives a fuck what he has to say anymore. And it's like, I tried to tell you. I tried. You didn't listen.
Yep.
Have fun.
Hopefully they're remembering. I hope your voice is replaying like over and over on repeat for them.
I hope so too, man. That would actually be a very personally gratifying experience if I found out that was happening. But no, you done did it to yourself. No one did it to you. You did it to yourself. Look in the mirror. Take some responsibility.
Yeah. Exactly. It's hard to do.
Is surrounded by vivid mental impressions, samskaras, that echo the desires, fears, and attachments from past lives. These impressions become like seeds, carrying the karmic energies of unresolved emotions, relationships, and experiences, attachments to loved ones, material wealth, or fleeting pleasures from the previous life. Pull the soul back into circumstances where these desires may be realized once more, though often in a way that cannot provide lasting fulfillment. These desires become binding forces, trapping the soul in the cycle of rebirth and keeping it tethered to the unresolved past. As the soul progresses through this state, it begins to encounter visions of potential parents, images shaped by the soul's karmic resonance. These are not random encounters, but luminous impressions.
See, and this is where I have questions. I attracted my parents based on my karmic like, what the fuck did I do in a former life?
You may not have been being punished.
I know. Well, they always say this isn't a punishment. This is just to teach you a lesson. I'm like, it fucking feels like a punishment, though.
Sometimes it's a punishment. I mean, it is. I know everyone wants to make themselves feel better by saying, I wasn't a bad person, because everybody wants to be the best person in the room. That's fine. But sometimes it really isn't a punishment. Sometimes it's because you did so well in the last life. Only this kind of challenge can push you further.
Yeah.
I don't know. I get the impression that you're smart enough on your soul level. I just do.
Oh, I'll take that as a compliment, Jennifer.
From the enlightened North Node person with the galactic central point.
But this is what the damage my parents have done to me is. Like, in my head, I'm like, oh, I fucked up, like on everything. And I'm like, I know that's not real. But this is the damage my fucking parents did to me.
We all have that. I love my parents. They did their own bit of damage. It is what it is. I think that's sort of a, like, maybe I missed out on being able to fuck somebody else up because I never had kids. Like, I missed out on one of my rites of passage.
I mean, like, I very purposefully don't want to have kids because, like, I really do think that I would fuck. I think I would fuck kids up. I really do. I think I would fuck them up very badly. Just like my parents did to me, because their parents did it to them, and I'm just like,
generational trauma. That's hard.
I don't want that, and it's like not even like a hard decision for me either. It's not like I'm like, I don't feel like I'm making this great sacrifice. Like, I can't have kids. Like, it's not like that. No, like I'm like perfectly happy without kids. Yeah. I actually like am really I'm actually really happy not having kids, and I really don't want them. And I think I'm fine with that decision.
This is my my vacation life, where I don't have to worry about anybody else's growing up or well-being besides myself and my husband. It's my vacation life.
See, that's not how I feel about it. Like, people always like trying to like, you don't have kids, do you think you're gonna miss out? I'm like, no.
On them hating me when I'm older, that part, yeah. Mm-hmm. No, it's all good. People like us find each other and help us through the times that, quote unquote, our kids would have been there for. And those kids, just because you have them doesn't mean they're going to be there for you either.
We'll be in the old folks' home, Jetafire.
Yes.
And I'll be like, Jetafire, time isn't real. And you'll be like, fuck you.
Fuck you, Carlin. I'm sorry. 60 years later. Give me a break.
I thought you guys earlier were saying you chose hardships in life to grow, but now it sounds like you don't choose everything. Some of the lessons are being taught to you based on. No, that's not contradictory at all, because like karma is just balance.
Mhm.
So I mean, like most of the time, like you're gonna experience karma. Okay, here's my understanding. Maybe you disagree. I think most of the karma we experience is not like. I think is we experience karma in like the lifetime where we had the experience. Maybe not all the time, but a lot of the time for like the basic karma bullshit. Like, and I think we all see this, you know, something happens to us, and then there's ramifications of that, and then we see things happening. Like, you can observe karma happening in real time, but I think the choices, you'll probably explain this better than I do, the choices you make, they're not disconnected from your previous lives, because you're one soul. Like, when you die, you understand all your lives and how they all fit together. I don't know. Do you have a better explanation?
Imagine if every time you went to sleep, you died, and every time you woke up, that was your new life. So you carry what you learned and did from yesterday to today, and you'll carry today into tomorrow. That's essentially reincarnation. In terms of choosing hardships in life, choosing anything in life, sometimes it's incredibly specific. Sometimes it's like, I'm going to learn about X, and you allow that to reveal itself, how that lesson is going to be shown to you in the moment. Sometimes you learn the rules as you go. Sometimes you don't realize, like, hey, I just want to learn how to, you know, be more compassionate. And you're very vague about it. So your whole life is going to be probably full of experiences that are going to be shitty, so that you can learn how to empathize and be compassionate to other people. So, but it's a broad lesson. If you need to learn, I need to learn how to be compassionate towards handicapped people, you might be a handicapped person, you know, or you might end up working with them. So it might happen in the moment. It might be because of an agreement. Everything's because of an agreement, but sometimes it's co-creating, and agreements that we have, we can break while we're here. We can start new ones while we're here. It's not like you sit there, plan your life, go live it, come back, look at your game board, reshuffle, do it again. There's a lot of spontaneity. We live in a free will universe, so remember that first.
I needed to learn patience. What hobby did I take up? Fucking knitting. Like, I mean, honestly, like, what hobby was I drawn to? But out of all the possible hobbies in the world, knitting.
Where and arguing with idiots.
And arguing with idiots online. Yeah, exactly. So.
Reflecting the vibrational qualities of both the soul and the parent.
Fuck, God.
Are you okay?
No, I just had the realization that all the bullshit I have to deal with morons coming into my chat are explicitly about this. You need to learn how to be more patient, Carlin.
Okay, now hang on, Wolfen on X. I need to address this.
Oh. Can we talk about the fact that every word is capitalized and you shouldn't be doing that?
Is it?
It is. They're all capitalized except for... No, they're all Don't do that!
It doesn't look Oh, every word is capitalized, not every letter.
Every letter at the start of the word is capitalized, and I find that off-putting.
Carlin is appeased.
You're not supposed to do that.
So let me address this. First of all, this is not my first rodeo. I have had thousands of children in my previous lives.
Yeah.
I have either seeded a woman's womb or have been the woman's womb, which has been seeded. I have been all that. I have had thousands of children. I get a fucking vacation.
We're allowed to not have kids.
We're allowed to not. And you know what's interesting, Carlin? Think about, it is possible that your children from your last life are alive today. You may have even interacted with them.
Yeah, wouldn't that be a trip?
That trips my shit all the time. Like, I wonder, I might have met my own kids, or I could have several kids all over. Like, who knows what lineages you started anywhere in the globe? I mean, I just think that's crazy cool. I don't know. But yeah, I probably have kids right now that are alive. that have had kids. My lineage.
Or you have
is still
grandkids
mourning
that are
grandma.
alive, or great grandkids, or like
Yes.
infinite numbers of like. I mean, that's
Your lineage.
actually crazy to think about.
Yeah. We have made ourselves and each other since we started this journey a millennia ago. So I get a fucking lifetime off to be a writer of erotic literature and be an adult with my husband anytime I want without having to close any damn doors.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, exactly. I have no regrets.
Nope.
I really don't. I really don't. Everyone's always like, "You're gonna regret not having." So I'm like, no, I'm not. Going to regret it. No,
I'm really good with kids, and when my friends have kids
No.
around, it's like I'm really great with them, and then I'm like, here you go, have it back. Like,
See, I'm not great with kids. I don't like kids. I don't want kids.
I don't
to
like
be
them
around.
either, but I'm good with them.
I like. I've said like many times. Like I actually like. I'm kind of curious about what it's like to be pregnant. Just like that whole thing. But I'm sure I would also get really sick of that because that's like 9 months long. And I'm like, can I be pregnant for like a week? Can I just like try it out and then it just goes away? Because I know when I have the kid, it would be like, okay, Victor, here you go. I'm going to go back upstairs and you can rear the child.
I think that like the British have it right by sending it away for school.
Yeah.
You know, and they only come back for like Christmas and summer.
Yeah.
Like, I'm down with that.
I have no desire to have kids at all in any way. None. Souls aren't gendered. No, they're not gendered. No, we have both masculine and feminine energy. If that's true, if that's the case, then could transgender people actually be genuinely real? Well, so Joshua always used to say to me that like with transgender people, with like men who transition to be women, he always said that they had really aggressive masculine energy, which was funny because they transitioned to be women. So it was almost like they were balancing out the like really aggressive masculine energy by being feminine.
Interesting. I tend to think that over time we develop, our energy is not gendered. We do not have sex in the energy realm or as a being. But I do believe we can develop tendencies towards the masculine and feminine sides of it because we are in a dual binary universe. And so you might have like I've been a tomboy. I have a lot of aggressive masculine energy in my makeup, but I am also very feminine. So I feel well balanced in it. I'm happy to be a heteronormative white chick, whatever. But I think some people, if first of all, remember this, there is no wrong body. You chose this.
Yeah.
This was the perfect body to experience the things you needed to experience. If you're getting confusion, I think there's something else out of alignment. I don't think it's because you're in the wrong body. Now, if you go through, I do believe there are a few whose tendencies are so strong that they feel like they need to alter their body. If they have the time, money, energy, and support and can do it in a healthy way, I have no problem with that. I have a problem with people that it's forced upon as if it's normal because instead of dealing with the spiritual journey, they're dealing with the physical body, and that's out of balance. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, when I say masculine and feminine energy, I don't mean like biologically male or I mean
right.
Masculine energy is penetrative, like that's the symbol for male. Feminine energy is receptive, that's the symbol for female. And so we can kind of like assess what those might be symbolic of. But they also they mean other things too. I mean like the sun is a masculine energy, the moon is a feminine energy. And so like everyone has both masculine and feminine in them, and it's not a biological sex thing.
We start neutral and we learn how some people just always stay neutral, some people start like tending towards one or the other. And I think it is the confusion of that has been causing such an unhealthy physical reaction. Instead of embracing that, hey, I'm just a guy with a feminine tendency in my energy, or I'm a girl with a masculine tendency. If you got to go be like, I need to be all things at all time, I don't know how that's helping your journey, but that was your decision. Then when you came down with your agreements,
I also think it's like the people who are, I mean, real well, okay. So I mean, there's a lot of different reasons people are into the gender stuff, but I think one of the reasons is they feel like they don't fit in the box of what this gender should be, and it's like there is no fucking box. Like that's the real realization. There is no right way to be a woman. There is no right way to be a man.
Yeah, Correct. Yeah. It is how you create it. And there's nothing wrong. And I think that's also something that has to do with like homosexuality as well. It's also a chemical reaction. Our hormones do things. I learned recently that um, a male fetus, if it pretends or shoots off more feminine hormones, the woman's body actually attacks male fetuses more than it attacks female fetuses.
Oh.
So, yeah, I read this interesting scientific study a few years ago about that. So that's why it seems like there's more gay men or more men who have feminine tendencies, because it's almost the fetus is creating a life preservation reaction to save itself from being attacked by the woman. I have to look that up again. But it was a fascinating paper I read. And yeah, and it gave a kind of a like, why do you have certain hormonal balances one way or the other? Because it varies for all of us. So.
Yeah. All right. Base says, you guys focus a lot on freedom, but do we have obligations? Like, is there any sense that a man ought to be more masculine or a woman ought to be more feminine? Well,
No.
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 There's no obligation to do anything.
No.
You create your experience. You are the god of your experience.
Yes. Yeah. There's no like, well, women have this role and they're supposed to do these things. No. We have tendencies towards, we tend to be more nurturing, more understanding, more communicative. Men tend to be more protective, more aggressive. You know, so it's like there's a different thing, but that also has to do with hormonal balances, but it's also an energy thing. And there's no one that's saying you have to be these things or else we'll define you as gay or non-binary or masculine or feminine. No.
Well, I mean, like, take the parenthood thing, though. It's like, well, women should want to be mothers and all this stuff. Well, I actually don't want to be a mother, but that energy, it does manifest itself in other ways. Like, there is a very real reality in which, like, the reason I hang around the Groypers is that I kind of became the mother of the fucking internet. Like, I mother people on the internet.
You have a mothering instinct. That doesn't mean you want to be
It doesn't mean I want to be
mother.
a mother. But it can manifest itself in other ways that are kind of weird and, you know, all that stuff. But.
I actually really wanted kids. I went through a very long stretch of years where I really wanted children. But then I kind of came to a realization that some of that was programming from my church because that was our purpose. See, and I had to deprogram.
I've never wanted kids. I really haven't. Oh, wow. It's like, it's one of those things where like everyone says like, when are you going to have kids? You'd be a great mother. And I'm like, no. I don't want, like, literally it's never been a thing for me. It's like I thought like, should I want kids? Like, should we have kids? Like, is this something that we should do? But like, it's just like it actually doing it. There's just never been. And the same with Victor, by the way. Like, Victor doesn't want kids either. I'm like, this is fucking perfect marriage. Like, neither of us want kids. It's like it works out great. Like, and he actually was like more adamant about it than I was, because I was like, maybe we should just have one, but only one, and no more than one, and hopefully it's a boy. And even then he was like, no, I don't. I was like, he was like, I'm okay not doing it. I was like, okay, I'm okay not doing it too.
Get a dog.
Like, if there was like an accident or something, like, I could conceivably still get pregnant. Like, like you know, whatever, it's fine. It's meant to be. It's God's will, whatever. But if he can just pull out, that would be.
That I think is one of the best insults of all time. Is like, your father should have pulled out. Like, that's like one of the best insults. Okay, we got back to dicks again. Oh.
It always ends up there. If you choose what time and what area your soul reincarnates into, and you know before reincarnating that this place and time will have there's no obligations. You're creating the obligations. There's no obligations.
Wait a minute. I'm wondering if he's referring to she. Sorry, Base. I don't know what you are. I'm going to free you as a guy because you're giving me masculine energy right now. But is it that, like, say you are born into a Muslim family and your obligations as a woman in that place are to do these things? You get married, you make more babies, you wear a burqa, you have no rights. Now, have you chosen that? Yes. Those are your obligations to do. Now, here's the thing. Is your lesson to learn how to follow rules because maybe you needed to? You've been a rebellious little shit and the universe is tired of your crap? Or is it that you are the person to cause change in that society? Maybe you're going to shake shit up. Maybe you're going to go, you know what, this isn't for me. And you learn to define your own boundaries and you get out of it. You go to Americana College Scholarship and never go back, or something like that. There are always options within the framework in which you are born.
I mean, maybe your lesson is to learn that you can leave.
Yeah, could be.
You can leave. You grew up in that, Base doesn't know this. Jennifer literally grew up in a Christian cult.
Yeah.
Like, literally. Like, and
Yes.
she left.
Yep.
And her parents did too, thankfully. But like,
Yes.
that was part of her journey. Like, so there's obligations in the cult that you were born
Oh,
into.
we had a whole set of rules between men and women. You saw that's another thing, Base. If you ever want to know, that's the first interview I ever did with Carlin, was being raised in a Christian cult. It is in DISENRAGE number 7, 8, or 9 or something in there.
Yeah.
It's like one of the very first ones that she ever did, where I talked about the church I was raised in. And there were rules, and I chose that experience. Did I agree with it? Oh yeah, I was wholeheartedly balls to the walls in this church. And then I finally kind of started going, something's up here. I don't know. And then I got out of it. I went, this is not right.
Yeah. This is
Thinking
it.
for yourself.
It's like a choose your own adventure game. That's actually a really great way to put it. It's a choose your own adventure game. And you can make it, like, every moment of every day is a chance to make a different decision.
Yep.
And if you don't want to do something anymore, you don't have to do it. You can go do something else. It's like, and I think a lot of people don't like even just as simple as like, I don't like this person on the internet. Well, guess what? You don't have to listen to them. There are a million people you can listen to on the internet. But like, are you going to make the choice where I don't like this person and I'm going to hate watch every single thing that they do and talk about them all day, every day?
Also
or are
a choice.
which is absolutely a choice. Or are you just going to like say, this is not my cup of tea and go somewhere else? It's like, you can always make a different decision.
You can. And do you want to be miserable? Then keep doing the thing that makes you miserable.
Yeah.
If you want to get better, you want to have fun, you want to be more healthy, you want to be stronger and happier, change something. That's all it takes. Sometimes it's a series of changes. Oh shit, now we just described the journey of the soul and life. Keep making changes till you get where you want to be.
Yeah. All right. 3 more minutes of this video. Let's wrap up. We've had some good discussion tonight, though, thanks to Based.
This has been really good, yeah.
It is drawn to. At this point, the soul has some semblance of choice, though it is often constrained by the gravitational pull of its own karma. The soul may feel a magnetic attraction or an aversion to certain parents, based on the karmic patterns it still needs to resolve. However, advanced souls, those who have achieved spiritual awareness, may have more agency in this process, consciously choosing the conditions that will most effectively aid their journey toward liberation. Yet, even as the soul approaches its new birth, there remains a veil of forgetfulness, a natural barrier that erases the conscious memory of past lives. This veil is often seen as merciful, allowing the soul to engage fully in its current life without the burdens of past traumas or unresolved experiences. Without this forgetfulness, the soul could be overwhelmed by the weight of its history, preventing it from fully embracing the lessons of the present incarnation. But the veil is not absolute. In moments of deep introspection, in dreams or in flashes of intuition, hints of past lives may emerge, offering glimpses of unresolved karma or latent abilities carried over from previous incarnations. Spiritual practices such as meditation can also help pierce through the veil, allowing advanced practitioners to access past life memories and insights that guide their spiritual evolution. The karmic Bardo of becoming is a realm of both mystery and opportunity. It is the space where the soul is continually drawn toward its next incarnation by the invisible forces of karma, where it encounters visions of potential parents and begins to experience the subtle energies that shape its future. In this journey, the soul is both guided and constrained by its past, but it is always moving towards an eventual reunion with its truest, highest nature. The 5th state of the Bardo states is the Bardo of Dream. This refers to the intermediate state experienced in sleep, which mirrors death in its experience of temporary separation from the body. Dream practice, as part of Bardo training, is used as preparation, teaching one how to recognize the illusory nature of existence and achieve lucidity. The 6th and last state of the Bardo states is the Bardo of meditation. This Bardo pertains to the meditative states one can achieve in life, where a practitioner experiences the clear light of awareness and the dissolution of egoic boundaries. In advanced meditation, individuals can experience states that mimic the post-death Bardos, which helps them prepare for the actual experience of death. Our journey continues in the second part of this series. Stay
All
tuned.
right.
Well,
that's
there's
the
a
end.
second part. I don't know what that means, but okay.
I thought that was a good place to wrap up.
Oh
with.
yeah,
Cool. I enjoyed those videos, Jennifer.
those were fun. Yeah, I like those a lot. I love the narrator, and I like the imagery, and it's very engaging. And they're not an hour long. It's like nice little digestible chunks.
Yeah. I like this channel a lot. We should definitely come back to this channel. We should watch a Gnosticism video sometime.
Totally.
James Lindsay will be thrilled about. Oh, check this out! Look at this! Look at this! This creator has a Joe Dispenza playlist.
Oh really?
Look at that!
Oh my.
What is the Joe on the Joe Dispenza playlist? Hang on a second. Oh, there's only one video on the Joe Dispenza.
Yeah, well, usually playlists could be like things kind of relating to or inspired by or loosely affiliated with.
Yeah. Well,
So
we should do a Joe maybe next week for my week we'll do Joe Dispenza Day.
yeah,
And
yeah.
you can give your opinion on him.
Yeah, because I don't think I'm not sure if I've heard anything he's done. I don't know. I might when I see him, I go, oh yeah, I know this guy. I don't know.
You'll probably recognize like he gets around in these but he does teach good. He's an arrogant asshole though, but he is an Italian and he's an Aries.
Yes!
So what can you really do? Gothic, thank you for the super sticker, Gothic. Appreciate it. Jennifer, do you have any closing thoughts for the night?
Just in terms of why are you doing what you're doing if you're feeling stuck? You know, I think I always think about like the Tower card in a way that tear everything away and look at your foundation.
I don't
And
like the Tower card. The Tower card freaks me out.
Well, as an omen, it's not the nicest thing to have, but the message is clear. Re-examine your foundations, and also think about if you don't like what you're doing, what would you like to do? And then start thinking, reverse engineering how to make that happen and see where the opportunities start going. Because once you align in anything with manifestation, once you align, your purpose is going to show up. I mean, just trust yourself. And again, trust the universe, trust the influences.
It is true. I'm looking for the Tower card. There it is. There it is. I found it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
finally made friends with this tarot deck, by the way. Remember I had like an aversion to this tarot deck when I first got it? Like, and
Which one is that?
This is the Toth deck, which
I was going to say, is that Toth? Yeah.
Well, I've used the Toth deck before, and I really like the Toth deck, but it was like this specific one. I was like, I don't know if I like this, but I've made friends with it now. But that's the Tower card.
It kind of wow. I can see the tower in it now. It reminds me a lot of the zines kind of stuff that they
I also really like the Queen of Wands card in the Toth deck. I feel like that is like a perfect representation to me. Do you know what that looks like?
I do have the Toth deck, but I can't recall off the top of my head.
Is it? Hang on. Well, talk to us about what's coming up this week. I'm gonna find the Queen of Wands.
All right. Well, movie night this Sunday we have celebrating Naruto's birthday, so we'll be watching sorry, I'm in the wrong year. There we go.
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World for Naruto's birthday. And then after that, I have something very special that I have been promising a dear friend of mine that I was supposed to show it last year and I actually completely forgot and I feel really bad. So I'm going to be showing The Wizard of Oz for John.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and somehow March kind of turned into my slush month. So I'm like, what can I make up for here? So I'm hopefully if I can get my hands on a copy, I have to look. But if I can do that, we read The Wizard of Oz in my writing circle on my Discord. And we actually went through it like after we were done doing all of our, technical stuff and critiquing and everything. We actually found a book copy and we took turns reading chapters and read the book. And I've never read it before. It was very interesting.
Huh. I don't think I've ever read it before either.
It's got a lot of crazy shit in it, man. But it's interesting. So yeah, we did. So he keeps asking, when are we gonna do The Wizard of Oz? And I'm like, oh yeah, next month. And then I push it off. So I'm like, I got to do it. Then we got the Tron 1 and 2 double feature and The Island.
I'm gonna do mushrooms when we watch Tron. I'm not even joking. Like I have mushrooms in my house that I don't know if mushrooms ever expire, but they've been here for a minute. But I
have some old ones in my fridge too.
I'm gonna do fucking mushrooms when we watch Tron. That's gonna be the way it is.
Oh, I don't think I can read though. Oh,
there's the Queen of Wands. Isn't that me in a card?
It kind of is, yeah.
Yeah,
With
that's
your
me.
little dog there.
Yeah, it's a cheetah.
Oh, is it a cheetah? Your little
Because
cheetah.
it's fast. Because the Queen of Wands has no patience, you Pisces fucking asshole.
Pisces just are indecisive. That's the problem. Is you can make decisions,
Yes.
they cannot. And they say, "Well, I know I need to contact her, but I don't know when." And then they get
I'm
in their
waiting for
own
the.
way.
I'm waiting. Here's what he's saying. I'm waiting for the right moment, and if it's
Yeah.
meant to, it's gonna happen, and I don't need to do anything proactive. No, you do need to do it proactively. You know what the right decision is. I'm so sick of this waiting bullshit. You know it's gonna happen. You're just putting it off.
But then they'd have to accept responsibility for the path they just
Yeah.
put themselves on, and fish don't like doing that.
For real.
They like the swimmy feeling of the water and the ocean, and there's not a lot of responsibility there, and they can dart behind something real quick if they need to hide. But once they're out on land, it's like, you better make a decision. They don't like that.
It's time to make a decision. It's time to make a decision, Pisces. He's never gonna watch this, so I know that I can say whatever the fuck I want.
With
Answer
love.
the fucking with love. Answer the fucking DM.
Yeah, please, so we don't have to keep hearing about it. That'd be nice. Okay.
No,
So,
this
and
is
then
just
we've
my
got-
day to work out feelings. That's it.
That's fine. We're here for you, love. So then we've got Carlin's Aries April coming up after that. So do you want a reminder of what your movies are?
Yes, please.
The Secretary,
Ooh, good movie.
There Will Be Blood,
Also a good movie.
The Stand,
Excellent movie.
and It.
See, and for the Stand and It, we're doing the classic miniseries.
Yeah. So those are going to be long. Was it a two-parter in the original
It
too?
was a two-parter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
It's gonna be long. It's gonna be like a double feature. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a double feature.
I'm gonna wear Miss Jennifer out, girl.
Oh man, it's so good, Jennifer. So you want to? There won't be much trivia for like the Stand and It though. I don't think, because these are just like miniseries.
We'll see. I might have to pull in some help for some of those. That's gonna be a lot of back-to-back long shit.
We're doing the Tim Curry It.
Yes.
We're not doing the newfangled remake with the Skarsgård kid. We're doing the Tim Curry It. Although I will say, for the remake It, the second one actually made it better for me. Like the first one, I was like, I don't know about this, but they actually did, I thought, a fairly good job with the second one. But like, it does not match up against the classic It miniseries, which I've seen 8,000 times, and I think I have it actually. I think I own it on Comcast. So if you need something, like, I think I have it.
Okay, cool. That's good to know. Well, we'll see. I should be able to find it without a problem.
John Ritter is in that.
Yes. Oh, John Ritter. Oh. And so yeah, I might pull in some help for some of those, but we'll see. And then that reminded me of something, and speaking of Skarsgård, I watched Nosferatu the other night.
Oh yeah,
the new
Was he
Nosferatu.
good in that? I haven't seen it.
He was the reason to watch that movie. He was amazing.
He's a great actor. Even in
Oh.
It, like he did a really good job, I
So
think, with that role.
creepy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. How is he so creepy and his brother is so fucking hot?
His brother's so fucking. It's because they're Swedish.
Is that why?
They're
Because
Swedish.
they make creepy hot people in
I don't
Sweden?
know, but like Alexander Skarsgård is like the fucking sexiest man.
Oh,
in the
forget
world.
about it.
Like I just can't. I can't. Like I will
Did you
watch
see the Viking
anything.
movie he was in?
I will watch. What's that?
Did you see the Viking movie he was in?
Yeah, I saw. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. Did you watch every episode of True Blood just for him? Yes,
No,
I did.
in fact, I've
Yes,
never seen
I
True
did.
Blood, but I'm starting to want to. Yeah.
No, you have to watch it, but you have to wait. He's not good at first. There's a
Okay.
moment in season 2, but what you really need to get to is season 4, and you just need to go. You just need to like. There's some. There's
3
things you need to-
seasons before I
No,
enjoy it. Oh.
Well, no. But the whole 4th season is about him, basically. So like,
Oh.
he is the star of the 4th season, and then everything after that kind of sucks. But you know, True Blood is a good show though. True Blood is actually like legitimately a good show.
It looked pretty cool, wasn't it? Like werewolves and stuff, kind of
Werewolves and vampires and
thing?
sooty
Yeah, I know people
stackhouse
were like
and-
crazy obsessed with it, and usually when that happens, I tend to distance because I don't like trendy shit. I like
Yeah.
to wait till it goes away and then I'll watch it because
I
I don't
read a-
like all the opinions.
I read all the books too, so
Did
it's
you?
I did, well because I was preparing for like because I wanted to know what happened with the Skarsgård character, and so after there was a moment in season 2, I went back and read the books, and it led up to season 4, and it's just like it's the best. It really is, Jennifer. It's the best.
Okay,
Yep.
okay. I want to show you something. Speaking of werewolves,
Oh.
if I can find it, hang on, give me one moment. Let me see.
I
Ah,
don't even watch TV or movies anymore. I have no idea what's on TV now. I just assume that basically good TV stopped being made before the pandemic, or like by the pandemic. Like there's no more good TV.
there's one called Evil that is on Netflix that is excellent. It is
Yeah.
so good. It's funny. The chemistry between the actors is good. The characters are great. It is well written. It's smart. It's a lot of fun. It's about demons that are trying to
Ooh.
take kind of things over. And there's like, it sort of reminds me of like the X-Files where you have like the believer and the skeptic.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have like a psychiatrist, a priest, and then a ghost haunter debunker guy. And the three of them go investigate supposed possessions, and it's so good. It's so good. I'm trying to find how to share my freaking screen. Where the frick is the
It's
button?
present.
Present.
Present on the screen,
Of
Jennifer.
course. Share screen. Oh wait, hold on. It's only giving me that. No, go away. That can go. Oh, oops, Mac. Tell us what you're doing on Monday while I'm trying to figure out how to make this happen.
Yeah, MacB, what movie are you showing on Monday? We watched Death Becomes Her last night, and it was great.
I'm not a huge fan of the movie. I've seen it like 3 times, and I've never liked it any of those times. It just frustrates me because those heroines are so freaking stupid.
This is your cover?
Uh-huh.
Look at that.
Hold on, I'm trying to get back to where we are. I can't. Oops.
That's
that
the
is,
werewolf?
yes. So this is my work in well, this is my, I have 2 work in progresses. One is the seed bearer, which is was the golden bed one. This is the next novella that I'm about 2/3 of the way done with.
Saved and Bound. All right.
He's hot, right?
He is hot. Yep.
That's AI. Gayla helped me with him.
Yep. That looks good, Jennifer. I like how the wolf is coming out behind his head. I think that looks really good.
Yeah, like it's coming out of him. I'm not sure how that. I'll have to check and see how that looks on the video later. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you.
Max says he's watching The Great Dictator on Monday.
We're doing that on Monday. Oh, I want to see it. Oh, I'm so excited. I've seen that once before. It's so good.
Is it? I've never seen it.
It's a Charlie Chaplin's only speaking movie.
Oh.
It is, and you would like it because he does some pretty based introspection on shit. You would like it, actually. It's incredible.
All right. Well, maybe I'll stop by.
Yeah, do.
All right. Well, that's all we got for tonight, guys. We will see you guys on Sunday for Movie Night with Jennifer and Monday for Movie Night with Mac B. And good episode, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
It was fun. Right on. Thanks, everybody. And thanks for all the good conversation, you guys.
Yeah, thank you guys for the conversation. We'll be back next week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.